Good morning. I'm going to just give people a chance to get notified because I am a bit behind my usual schedule. But good morning to everybody. I'm here. I'll let everybody get notified and then come on in. Come on in to this Saturday morning. Good morning. Just waiting for notifications to go out so people know that I'm live. Hey, badass. I'm just waiting for everybody because it's I don't see the notification going out yet. So I'm here. Just give me a minute. Morning, everybody. I'm here. I'm just waiting for people's notifications to ring because I did the thumbnail late, so I'm just giving it a few moments, but I'm here. Morning, Bayou. Let's give it a few more minutes so people can get their notifications to come on in. Okay, so how's everybody's gardening going? The weather over here is changing, but it's very mild. It's warm. It's actually warm today, which is going to make it even harder when the cold hits. We had a frost already, even though they call for frost in November. We had the frost. Oh, good morning, Howie. Um, so and some of you all, I know some people are waiting for snow to come this weekend. So it's so weird. There's so much different weather changes and weather climates. It's just ridiculous. So today I'm going to do two things. We're going to piggyback off of Gina's live yesterday about the potential for um, sheltering in place, bunkering in. We were talking about the situation that happened in Maine, and everyone had to kind of stay home while the law enforcement was looking for the perpetrator. Well, you had third frost in a row. So we'll talk about that. Just like bunkering in and being prepared in case you have to bunker in, because we had some good tips. Just want to get a few more ideas so that we can all kind of get ourselves together and have some extra things that we didn't think about in place. Last night I was in Gray Man Prepping, which is also Camp Patton. They had a good conversation. The doctor was in. I fell asleep, but I watched the rest this morning, and I think she's coming back again next week, he said. So It was very informative. Even like she was talking about omegas and that you may not be getting enough in the pills that you're taking. Um, plays a game on the 360. Yeah, a game and just discuss just things. I know everybody likes to go all the way to SHTF, but sometimes it's not even SHTF. Sometimes it could be oh yes, Dr. Paula. It could be a ice storm, tornado, snowstorm. It could be a myriad of reasons. So not everything is SHTF. Good morning, Hudson. Good morning. No, I didn't miss anybody. So let's just it could be SHTF, but this could be like stay home. It could be even like when we had the lockdowns for the other reason. What do you have in your home if something were to happen? A snowstorm can kind of lock you in your house for a few days too. If you have nobody to shovel you out and your door is sealed with snow, that happens to people as well, elderly people, and someone has to shovel them out the house. So, what about that? Morning, Salon Diva. So we'll talk about that shortly, and people can watch this replay. But I have to do a public service announcement. Let me put my camera on. So some of us have been called to battle, so I decided to dress accordingly today. But we're not going to get messy over here. We're not messy. We're not petty. But some things do have to be addressed. Some of you know, some of you don't know. If you don't know, that's actually good because you're not in the mess. You're not in places where people get messy. But I do have to address a few things. Kind of, sort of, but not really. Morning, she said. And krill. I do use krill. So yeah. So some things do have to be addressed. So I'm just gonna do a general address, but we're not gonna get messy over here because we're ladylike. But I put on my camouflage and I put on my war paint. So let's get at it. Hey Willie, Willie Sir Just Jam. So I'm not gonna go into detail because I'm not gonna give people the attention that they really don't deserve. But some things were said last week. This week, I guess it's this week. And those of you who were there were there. I wasn't there because I don't go to those places anymore. And some things were said, and 4 individuals were called out. And I guess we have to explain ourselves. First of all, I gave a PSA from the very beginning when I came on this platform, how I move and how I am. And I certainly don't have to explain myself to anybody. So that in and of itself is a bit ridiculous. I don't have to answer to anybody and I don't have to explain myself to anybody. But I will do a general explanation and I will, as usual, go to the Holy Scriptures. And that might give you a better idea of how I move and why I do what I do for those who seem to be confused. Second of all, I don't see how somebody like me who's drinking water and minding her business is getting called out in things that really don't pertain to me. Don't pertain to me. I don't operate and live and exist and interact, morning Charles, with low vibrational people. I don't put myself in low vibrational places and spaces, and I don't interact or engage in low vibrational activities. So that in and of itself should be enough of an explanation. But I will go deeper just in case people don't understand. I'm trying to make sure I just keep it clean, keep it, polite. I find it problematic in this community. We talk about this community, but some of this quote unquote community is bullshit because I don't understand. Because the problem is not really with me and it's not really towards one particular individual. My problem is towards, at this point, the collective, because I don't know how people can sit in somebody's platform and listen to them, not just on that particular day, but consistently and repeatedly insult people, disparage people, malign people's name, be disrespectful, be degrading, and think that that's okay and that all of us should be okay with it. And that somehow particular individuals who I'm proud to be called out amongst the fab, I call us the Fab Four, because at least I can see that I'm not the only one with the backbone, because I have a problem and I'm not putting myself in places and spaces where somebody's consistently insulting, maligning, disrespecting, bragging, boasting, um, talking about people's bad decisions like they are the be all and end all of people's existence, and that you know everybody's situation and circumstance, make blanketed statements, are just plain rude and plain out of order, and then have a problem when I remove myself from low vibrational people, low vibrational spaces and places, and act like I have to explain myself. I don't have to explain myself to anybody. I don't owe anybody anything. And I certainly am not going to be allow a narrative to go out as if somebody else is a victim when actually they're the perpetrator of a lot of things. And a lot of you need to look at the situation. If you don't know, then I'm not going to go into it because, again, they just deserve no such attention. There's always a common denominator. And who and what is the common denominator? I'm not the common denominator. Shout out to Big Rooster. Shout out to African Dreaming. Shout out to Starduster. So a comment was made. We don't know people. We don't know a person. Well, the Bible says, by their fruits you shall know them. I'm basing everything about the fruits that I've seen and the words that have come directly out of the horse's mouth. So be accountable for your own actions and behaviors, and be accountable for what has come out of your own mouth. I'm not about to go into a pig pen and sling mud with a pig because I'm not a pig. I am on eagle stuff over here, flying and soaring and being an eagle, and I'm not going to come down, slang mud with the pigs, have to clean myself off, and then fly back to the sky. So I just don't bother with it. And you have to start taking a stock of the people who are constantly, consistently, and repeatedly in mess. Why are they always in mess? Why are they always starting mess? So I'm going to go through a few scriptures, and maybe you'll be enlightened as to why I move how I move. And what I will not tolerate is whether the person or people in the collective act like somehow I'm confused. I don't understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And I don't have the emotional intelligence or the intellect to know when I need to remove people from my circle. So let me read a couple of scriptures. And you may not be into the preachy, but I'm not preachy, but I'm going to show you, because sometimes people think it's just you. It's not just me. I can definitely say I am not the problem. So I have another screen to the side, so I'll be looking to the other side if you see me looking over here. So 1 Corinthians 15, verse 33. This is all, I think it's ESV, which is the English Standard Version. So it's a little bit more regular English. It says, do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals. Bad company ruins good morals. So if you have good morals and you have a certain standard that you live by and a code of conduct that you live by, then you need to remove yourself from bad company. And don't be fooled by what people say. Look at their actions and the consistent behavior that you're seeing on a regular basis. That speaks for itself. I don't need, as in Jamaicans say, we don't need no lamp to see that. That's as clear as day. Good morning, Cassandra. It's as clear as day. I don't need a lamp to see that. Even Ray Charles can see that. Even Stevie Wonder can see that. So this is why I move how I move. Proverbs 16, verse 28 says, a dishonest man spreads strife, and a whisperer, gossiper, people who repeat stories and call people's names out, separates close friends because their goal is to cause discord and mix up. People who are always in mix up and starting mix up, spreading mix up. See what you see and be okay with what you see. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. I believe you. I see who you are. And I don't need to have any interactions with certain people. I got good eyesight, I got good ears, I heard what I heard what's being said, and that's enough. It says here, Proverbs 22, verse 24 to 25 says, "Make no friendship with a man given to anger, nor go with a wrathful man, lest you learn his ways and entangle yourself in a snare." As far as I can see, I see an angry person consistently, unstable, behaves in irrational ways, has no control over their own emotions. And I know we're all learning to kind of control ourselves and control our emotions, but some people need more work than others. And it's not my job to entangle myself with people like that. Bad apples spoil the bunch. There's a reason why there's these old time sayings that people have learned through, because it's true. A bad apple spoils the bunch. And I have too much concern and love for myself and my people that I make sure I consistently purge and prune what needs to be pruned away. It's Proverbs 13, verse 20 says, "Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm." You can choose who you want to hang out with. Nothing to do with me. I'm sitting over here drinking water and minding my business. But I get to choose who I associate with. I have the power. I get to choose who I choose not to associate with. And nobody's going to question me about who I choose to disassociate from and my reasons for doing it. If you truly want to know, just open your eyes and it's right there in plain sight. Good morning, Miss Fee. So I don't know why you're questioning me as if I somehow did something wrong, but I digress. It says in Proverbs 17, verse 17, "A friend loves at all time, and a brother is born for adversity." Am I seeing somebody who shows love at all times? Am I seeing behavior that shows patience, grace, kindness? I have yet to see that behavior consistently and see it when there's nothing to benefit from. When you see people do all these great, wonderful things, but they get something to benefit from, that to me isn't full-time behavior. It's not fully genuine. So let's keep going. I'm not going to be much longer, but there's a few verses that just, if it makes sense, it makes sense. It says here, Proverbs 14, verse 7, "Leave the presence of a fool, for there you do not meet words of knowledge." Morning, Fifi. What does that mean? Do you expect to learn something helpful and knowledgeable from a foolish person who lives in a foolish manner, who spews out foolishness from their mouth? Morning, G Mama. On a consistent basis, not one time, consistently. And you can't say Urban said. I'm reading the scripture. If the shoe fits, wear it. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. So leave the presence of a fool. That's what I did. I've left the presence of a fool. It says here, I'm scrolling down to find the ones that I want. And the way that I move, if you Proverbs 18, verse 24 says, "A man with many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother." I don't keep a whole bag of friends, a whole bunch of friends. I know a lot of people. I'm cordial, jovial with everybody. But when you talk about the word friends, you keep that circle very tight and very small. And that's exactly what I do. People who have a whole bag of friends have a lot of mix up. Ain't nobody got time for that. Proverbs 27, verse 6, "Faithful are the wounds of a friend. Profuse are the kisses of an enemy." Just because you say nice things to me And oh, hey, fat guy, I missed you there. Just because you say nice stuff to me in public doesn't mean I don't know you're talking and have my name in your mouth. Like, there seems to be an illusion that I have to actually be in your presence to know that you're dirty, you're moving funny. I don't need to be in your presence. Real recognizes real. And for those who came in late, I got my war paint on and I'm wearing my fatigue because we're here for, some people want to call war, then here we go. Hey, Mama's handprint. But we're not messy over here. We're high vibrational. So I don't keep a whole bag of friend. Very selective, and you screen people properly. If you didn't pass the screening, don't get upset with me. Do some self-reflection. I'm not wasting time on low vibrational people, low vibrational places and situations. I don't got time to waste. Life is already short, and I'm not wasting time bending down in the mud pit with pigs. Don't got time for that. It also says, Proverbs 17, verse 9. Whoever covers an offense seeks love. So covers an offense means you don't have, well, I'll read the rest. Seeks love. But he who repeats a matter separates close friends. I do not, and I think I missed somebody. If I missed somebody, I'm sorry. I'm just saying what I gotta say. Those of you who know, you know. I don't have time to repeat matters. And there's some particular individuals who love to repeat matters and they love to put things on social media. I'm too old, I'm too grown to be doing them kind of foolishness. I expect that from like the younger generation, coming on social media and airing your dirty laundry and your grievances because you can't speak to the person in person. If you can't speak to a person in person or privately, then shut your ass and don't come on social media calling out people's name, because ain't nobody got time for that. That don't make no sense. And it's not just this situation. People like to go and air out stuff and repeat stuff. Watch how people move. They have no tact. They have no manners. They have no quote unquote brought up see, like they were raised in the jungle and want to come over here and act like they've been victimized. Ain't nobody no victim over here. And all that's happened is you've opened Pandora's box. People are now looking at you with a side eye wondering, something ain't lining up. Because Urban don't call out nobody's name. Urban hasn't said nothing and hasn't alluded to nothing. Neither has other individuals that were named out. So why are you airing out the laundry? And only one person in that person's chat asked, did you talk to these people or contact them privately? And the answer for me, I don't know about the others, but the answer is no. Because there is no problem. The problem is the 4 individuals mentioned, I can speak for myself, have a backbone. We have boundaries, and I'm not at a place where I'm going to tolerate anybody's bullshit. So you can keep the bullshit over in your pen and stay out of my business and keep my name out your mouth. That's what people need to be doing. There was no friendship. There was no relationship to be disinvested and asking why I'm doing what I'm doing and how I'm moving. And let's just be honest here. It's not one-sided. As Capoton said, who know your reggae music, them not like me and me not like them. It's mutual. So since it's mutual, let's leave it where it is and each mind their own business. Mind their own business. Okay. I'm coming down and then I'll read the chat and we can see. Okay, you're talking about the fish. She's talking to Badass. Okay. Yeah, I think I have one more and then I'm gonna just say what I have to say. And then we can move on and be done with it because I don't have time for foolishness. Oh, hold on. I have one. Let me just find it. Give me a second here. I have it on this page, but I'm scrolling down. That one was a good one. And all my Caribbean people, you already know Psalms. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. If I see that somebody's scornful, like I'm just living by the scripture. I'm trying my best to live by the scripture. And I see certain traits, and all you've done is confirmed that I was right and I've been right. That's all you've done. You've confirmed that I have been right from the very beginning. I saw it early, peace out, tapped out early, and y'all can figure out who and what I'm talking about who don't know. Okay? By people's fruits you shall know them. There's one verse, I have to find it. Give me a second here. That defined what I'm trying to say perfectly, if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Proverbs 20, verse 19. Whoever goes about slandering reveals secrets. Therefore, do not associate with a simple babbler. Is it just me, or am I seeing someone who can't keep their own mouth? There's nothing more. I know some of you don't like when a woman says, a real man. But I'm going to say today, a real man. A real man knows how to keep his mouth. There's nothing more unattractive than a man who's like involved in gossip and mix up and controversy and just moving like a pum pum. Like you move and you act like a pum pum. And that's not a real man. That's like a grown boy behavior. You're a boy in a man's body. Because I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think the scripture, really tolerates all this chittery chattery and foolishness and talking. You shouldn't even have time to talk all this foolishness. Who has time? Something's not adding up. Something in the milk ain't clean. And the particular live, and within the last 7 days, where people's names were mentioned, my problem is with the collective. Again, a lot of people sat in there, watch somebody slander somebody's name. My name wasn't really slander. So and if it was, I really don't care. I told the person to their face, whatever. Like I just removed myself. But some of you all watch somebody slander somebody's name, insult them, insult their life's choices, brag about who they are and how much money they have as per usual, because they got all this money, but you're always on social media. So why aren't you out there making, like, something's not adding up? You called out people by their name. You had a narrative that made you look like a victim when that's not true. And you acting like you don't know why people don't rock with you. It's not a surprise, and it's certainly not hard to comprehend. And a lot of you sat there and watched somebody actually disrespect somebody. You said nothing. Then you hopped on the next person's live for the response. Then you hopped on the third person's live for the response. And you said nothing. Then we say, oh, we got a great community. Bullshit. Because anybody who disrespects somebody and I'm there, I can't stop people from saying what they want to say. But I can certainly say, you know what? You've gone too far. I'm leaving. And that's when I let people know I'm leaving. I usually just leave a room, but I'll say I'm leaving. Hey, Carbon. Hey, I'm not watching the chat. Sorry. But my people. And that's really the problem. So people are going around the community unchecked. And now you're leaving it for me, a woman, to be going around checking men, which shouldn't be my job to do. The men should be checking the men. So shout out to Big Rooster and to African for responding and checking. But some of y'all, you watch somebody who's going around being a bully and treating certain people certain kind of ways. If you are a good person, then the cleaner, the janitor, the parking attendant, everybody experiences you the same way. If only certain people experience you as a good person and the rest of us are treated like shit, something in the milk ain't clean. Something in the milk is not clean. There's a reason why I do what I do, and there's a reason why I move how I move. And I don't have to explain myself. But since an explanation is warranted, I'm going to explain. Your behavior, your mouth, and your actions speak louder than any words could speak. I don't care how much you talk out of the left side. Oh, I do so much. You know what pisses people off, especially Caribbean people? Is when you help people and then you talk about it. Most Caribbean people don't like when you help them or you give them money or you do certain things, and then you go and talk about it to everybody. It's better that you don't help the person than help them and talk about it. Because again, that's low vibrational. If you're gonna do something, you shouldn't be telling everybody what you're doing. Just do it in private. Do it in, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. That's what the Bible says. I'm holding you accountable and people accountable for at the same benchmark. There's no favoritism and, oh, I like you better. No, the same benchmark. And you've come short consistently and repeatedly. And I choose not to invest time and waste my time into something that's just not going to go anywhere. It's dead. It's dead. The energy that is exuded is toxic. Your mouth is toxic. Your actions are toxic. Your motivations are toxic. Your toxic. Like, how much toxic things do I have to point out? And then the audacity. I respect women. When? Where's the respect for women? I have been disrespected by that particular individual and yelled at on a live on a Wednesday in public, and other people saw. Nobody said anything. Mind you, I'm my own person, so I learned early in life to speak for my damn self. But to see that people had no problem watching somebody carry on and disrespect me for no reason. We were discussing a topic and we were talking about the topic, and the person had no control again over their own emotions and decides to lash out. And then they say, I don't remember. That's why some of you shouldn't be drinking and taking a microphone and going and speaking out loud. I'm not disparaging anybody. I'm not calling anybody out their name. I'm pointing out repeated and consistent actions and behaviors. And some of you all are the problem because you let people do whatever, say whatever, and you keep going back to them rewarding the bad behavior. And nobody has called the person out. And when people, the 4 people that were named who said, you know what, we ain't tolerating bullshit. We have boundaries, we have standards and rules of engagement, and this ain't it. Why are our names getting called out? You've actually gave me a big compliment. It's not an insult, it's a compliment. So shout out to Big Rooster and African Dreaming. It's a compliment. We're not taking bullshit. We're not swallowing bullshit. I don't eat shit for breakfast, for lunch, or for dinner. I don't saute bullshit. I don't air fry bullshit. And I'm certainly not going to serve bullshit. But I'll serve it to you today because you deserve it. So all of this foolishness that's going on for no reason, because I'm sitting here minding my business. The issues that you have are your issues to deal with. They're not mine. So take your pile of accoutrements and all your issues and go deal with it. Go to a professional or go to somebody that can help you. Okay? And the real problem, well, not a problem, it's a good thing. All this has done is cause the community and everybody not only to look at you as an individual, but look at the flock of birds that flock together. Because it's kind of hard for me to what's the word I'm looking for? To reconcile this individual and the people that choose to align themselves with this individual and somehow look at you separate from the individual. If birds of a feather flock together, it's either I'm looking at you the wrong way and you should be looked at with a side eye, or something ain't lining up. And a lot of people now are like, something ain't lining up. And if somebody gives you wise counsel, solid counsel, and you choose not to listen to it and do your own thing, I'm not going to say one thing in your face and one thing behind your back. I don't have time for that. I try to keep it very consistent, very consistent. And I've said a lot of things in my lives throughout the last year and a half, and I've made it clear, crystal clear. Some of you are moving with people and they may treat you good, but they're not treating anybody else good. And if you're going to continue that relationship and you're not going to check the person, then you're just as bad as the person. And I'm going to start giving other people some side eyes. All right, Howie. See you. I think you're okay. We'll see you again. I'll see you on Monday if you're going live. Oh, thanks, Money. Good to see you. And if I miss somebody, I'm sorry. I'm just having to address some stuff. Okay. There's a way that you conduct yourselves. Good morning, Jay. The way you conduct yourself, especially if you're a grown adult. There's certain conversations and things I do not have to have with an adult. A younger person, you will have it because you're trying to groom them and train them and help them along because maybe they don't know. And maybe some adults don't know either. But there's the internet, there's books, there's a friend group that you can talk to and help you. There's professionals you can talk to that can help you through. But what you say and what you do ain't matching up. It's not matching up. I don't see respect for women because I'm a woman and I don't see any how you've respected me. There's been multiple times of disrespect. And I'm not going to take that from anybody. Period. No apologies. No oh, you got the message, Jay. I got the war paint on and the since you want to call for battle, I came dressed for the occasion. I don't see respect for women. I don't see respect for yourself. I don't see self-control. You can't control your mouth. You can't control your like I'm not judging it based on preferential treatment or I have my favorites. Your behavior repeatedly and consistently shows me who you are and I believe you. And your problems, sir, are your problems to have and to deal with on your own and are nothing to do with me. But I do have a problem because from what I saw on that particular day, I guess it was Monday morning by the time I got saw that because I don't watch that, but I went back to the original to see what all the, you know, dispute was about, what's going on. I went back to the original. And I will say this, and don't get offended. But if you don't watch somebody's live from the beginning, from the very front end, I would be more careful and selective if you go on that panel. Because if you're going up on that panel, you're co-signing what was said in that live. You're co-signing, especially if you didn't go up there and say, you know what, you went too far. You shouldn't have done that, or something where you're addressing the person and what was said. Point blank, period. If you're going to go on somebody's panel and you didn't watch the live from the beginning and you don't know what was said and what could have been said and all that kind of stuff, I'll be very careful if I'm jumping on the panel because I didn't see anybody address the person. I saw a lot of, oh, and coddling and here's a soother, suck on this. And I didn't see nobody addressing what was said. Because what I heard was somebody making disparaging comments about people. I heard somebody speaking for all of America of who should be allowed in America and who's a traitor or not. That's what I heard. I heard anti-veteran sentiments from someone who says, oh, I support the veterans. I heard you ain't ish and you ain't got no money and you broke. That's what I've heard. And it's not the first time I heard it. And it was clearly directed at one particular person out of the four. So somebody is preaching, taking down Jesus from the cross. Oh, he, I'm one of his children. You can't be one of his children, but then you're talking all kind of smack in the same conversation. Not the next day, not days later, in the same conversation. If you read your scripture, if you actually read it, if you actually open a page and read it, if you actually go online and play it. Good morning, anyone I missed. You would say sweet water and bitter water can't flow from the same fountain. And you all sat there and watched a supposed child of God spew bitter water and sweet water in the same conversation. But I have the problem. Something's off with Urban. She don't know. I don't mind being the only one with 20/20 vision. I saw what I saw and I heard what I heard. From the horse's mouth on more than one occasion. But I'm going to go to the chat and just catch up. Let me scroll back because some of y'all are saying stuff and I'm just totally, but let me scroll all the way kind of back, quickly scroll through. I think I greeted almost everybody. Bear with me. I'm just trying to catch up. Okay, so everyone's saying hello. Um, Good morning, Mama's handprint. I think I got you already. Wine cellar, good to see you. Um, yeah, you got that song. I've got the power. Do do. Um, so I don't think I'm just going through. Okay, so Badass was thinking about Fifi because they went fishing. Blah 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 blah. I'm just catching up to make sure I didn't. Okay, so I think most people are just listening quietly. They're not saying too much. Okay. Okay, I'm just making sure I catch. I didn't miss anything, just in case. Yes, I can see what you're saying, Slandiva. You don't want people doing things for me exactly because they're going to go bring it up and tell everybody, oh, what they did for you. Like, there's ways that you have to move that I'm not seeing. Oh, I'm glad you got notified, Money, because I didn't even put the thumbnail up till like 5 minutes before I went up. Hey, Darren, good to see you. I see you there. Tamika, I don't know if I said hi to you. Hello. So that's what's going on. What video was this? I would like to take a look at it. If you look at African Dreaming's video and Big Rooster on Sunday, that will lead you to the right direction. Badass. That will lead you to the right direction. So, yeah. Hey, Wellness with Frugal Mama. Okay, so I think I got everybody now. So that's what happened. I don't see. If you don't start none, there won't be none. And let me drop the link. Sorry, I forgot to drop the link. I know Big Rooster's in here, so you can come up, Big Rooster. I don't know if African's in the background. Oh, you're driving. Okay, no problem if you're driving. I see you just said you're driving. So that's what and we can honestly say, I know I can honestly say, from time to time you do call out people's names. And when I say that very like loosely. I don't really talk people, but if something happens, I will talk about it, and I keep that talking to a minimum, and I keep that talking to like just a small group of people. I'm not out here talking over, but you do share things with people because you need to get it off your chest. You need to get advice. But I'm not here gossiping about nobody. And I wasn't talking to Big Rooster. I wasn't talking. We didn't even know none of this stuff because we just keep it moving. So if we're all behaving the same way, who and what is the common denominator? Look at that. Stop looking all over and distractions. Look at the common denominator. But anyways, what's up, Big Rooster? How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. I just want to say, Urban, I really applaud what you're doing here, and I love the way you laying it down to everybody. And I totally agree with you 100%. I really wanted to be really really nasty in my reply, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna even I'm not gonna even go there. I'm just gonna let it be. You know, we grown folk. Like you said, I never even knew that individual had a problem with the other individuals that he mentioned. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
like you said, if you show me who you are, I'm gonna believe you. You know what I'm saying? That and the individual showed me who he was, and I believed him. But the crazy part about it is, I gave the individual a second chance. That's not our first encounter. Our first encounter wasn't as crazy as this one, but I gave this person a second encounter. And a second chance. And I'm like, I'm gonna be cordial with this person because I had heard some things, but I'm the type of person, I'm gonna give you a chance regardless. I'm not
I'm
gonna
the
just
same
go
way.
off of what anybody.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna just go off of what person, because like you said, hey, Maybe some people don't like this individual. Maybe maybe they do. My thing is, give me a reason not to like you, or I'm gonna give you a reason not to like me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I've never ever done anything to this man, and the crazy part about it is he tried to cry victim. Oh, I don't know why. Oh, you know exactly why. You know exactly why. So that being said, I just wanted to.
Yeah,
I just wanted to come
I
up.
think his insult was like you're just exposing yourself to people, and people who
Yes,
have
exactly.
discernment can see like
Exactly.
okay,
So
and it just exposing
yes,
the flock, because now I'm looking at the whole crew a little bit side eye. Because how can
right,
you have somebody
exactly.
walking around so reckless with their mouth, and no one's checking them? And the thing with me is, if somebody does something publicly, the check should be a bit public. I'm not saying be rude, but the check should be public.
Yes,
I don't want to hear about you
yes,
talking about it behind the scenes. The person went on publicly and made some disparaging comments, and the check should have been in public by their people. Say, no, man, you gone too far. No, man, you shouldn't be saying
right,
that. You shouldn't have came on here and did
right,
that, because it's not cool. You're gonna cause more don't. And if you're not gonna say
right,
it, then don't come up there and be like you're co-signing. Because now I'm looking at you kind of
right.
like, hold on, something. Is it me, or do I have to cut off more people? Now I'm wondering, do I have to cut off more people, because I had no problem pruning.
Me either. Hey, I'm with you on that one, Urban. And I agree with you wholeheartedly, 100%. It does make you look at other people's side eye. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, like I said, I've never, even in the even in the moment that he know what he did, I still never talked down about him. A lot of people was like, you know what? What's what's going on? I'm like, oh man, nothing. I don't even want to talk about that.
Right.
I'm the person that, hey man, it is what it is. I got other things to do. I'm trying to be me. I ain't trying to be you. I ain't trying to be the life of your party. I gotta do my own dance.
Right.
So with that being said, Urban, I just want to say,
Yep. But I'm glad it's happened, because I can see you all. We all have a lot more in common than we like. There's a reason why we circle together, like we kind of move in a pack, and that's the point.
yes, ma'am.
You gotta
Yes,
move
ma'am.
in
Yes.
a wolf pack, and if you ain't a wolf, you don't you can't be over here. We don't deal with pigs and diapers and them kind of foolishness going on over there. We over here as a
Yes,
wolf
ma'am.
pack.
Yes,
But
ma'am. So I say, hey, thank you for what you're doing. I'm gonna drop back down in the bush, but believe me, trust and believe me, to everyone in the chat that's watching this, what Urban is saying to y'all is so solid. If we're gonna be a community, let's be a community. Let's not pacify foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Let us come together and call somebody out. Hey man, you ain't, Urban said call him out publicly, but this man, from what I understand, he said he asked people in private, and they all told him, "Oh man, you're going too far." But he still ended up doing it publicly. So at that point, y'all should have scolded him publicly. You know what I'm saying?
that's
Already
how I
gave
see
him the
it.
warning. Yes.
Or
You
don't go on the
already
panel
said to
because
the
you're co-signing. If you can't
yes,
control
ma'am.
this reckless person, then don't go on the panel. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm not being petty, but there's no other way for me to look at it. That means you're co-signing what they're saying, or you're kind of like, it's not really my business. I'm going to stay out of it, but I'm in it. Like, nah. And exactly, juicing with Jay, all of this just makes people pick a side. There was no side to pick. We were out here minding our business. You all can like whoever you want to like. I have no problem with that. I never involved myself, and nobody heard nothing from me. No one could say that I said anything about nobody. You can like whoever you want to like, but now it's being brought to the surface because that's what they want. Pick a side. All this foolishness. And then the person is confused about the loyalty of their people. If someone's your friend, you should know that the loyalty of that's not my problem. That's your problem. That's a you problem, not a me problem. If you're questioning the
That's
loyalty of your
exactly
people because they're cool with us, we don't have no beef. We're moving with emotional intelligence and maturity. I don't like you. I'm not judging your crew based on you, but now I have to start kind of do a little side eye because he calling out names for good people, but if you're in this mess, you need to pick your friends better, as the Bible says. Pick your company better. Pick it better, because you're going to be caught with the same net.
Urban, one thing about people is we all know everybody don't like everybody, right? We all know that. We all human beings. We ain't lived 40 and 50 years for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people, hey, man, I move how I move. You move how you move. You don't have to deal with me. Hey, click off. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I'm not going to do is go up and tell somebody, hey, man, don't fool with him because of, or don't fool with her because of, you got to find out for yourself.
Exactly.
But like you said, the majority of this community has been dealing with this guy far before I came along. You know what I'm saying? But now he's trying to make it seem like, oh, the community shouldn't fool with me. Oh, well, this person or that person, or shouldn't fool with the African Dreamers, or shouldn't fool with the Urban Garden Chronicles, or shouldn't fool with Starduster too. I'm like, come on, man. First of all, I didn't even know. Urban has never said to me, hey, Big Rooster, I got a problem with such and such. Don't fool with him. I never even knew you guys had a problem until he started throwing names around. You know what I'm saying? So, if you want attention, you got it. You know what I'm saying? I addressed it. We done with it.
And
if you want more attention.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. I don't have a problem. I just chose not to hang around troublemakers.
Right. That's me. That's exactly what I said, Urban. I told him we talked about it in somebody's chat one morning because he tried to call me out in the chat. And he said to me, Urban, he said, I noticed Big Rooster, he said to the chat rather, I noticed Big Rooster ain't speaking to me. So I told him, when I seen that, I said, listen, man, you right. I haven't been speaking. I said, so I don't know why you keep speaking to me. I said, because one thing is, I'm not going to give you that chance. But what happened is, I just told the man, listen, I choose to stay away from you, bro. That's it. It ain't nothing personal. I don't dislike you. Move along. That's all you got to do. Move along. Step. We gonna see each other in the same communities. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all a part of the community. But hey, I ain't speaking to you. Don't speak to me. You know the deal. You know why. Don't act like you don't know why. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, it is what it is, And I'm not telling anybody in this chat right now to not, deal with this guy.
I'm not saying none of that.
Yeah.
I don't fool with them for reasons, and I listed, good foundational things that show why, and he's reflecting all the things that are negative repeatedly. There's nothing more I can do. I can't play deaf, dumb, and blind. I have to move with that to have some sense. And if you all don't want to move like you have sense, do whatever you want to do. But I'm going to start looking people more side eye, because it doesn't make sense that you are mature and seasoned and going into the pig pen to go play with pigs. Something not right with you. And I'm going to have to look at you sideways too.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I just, because what he said. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
What was said regarding being a traitor to America, maybe some people didn't catch who that reference was for. As far as I'm concerned, that was for African, and that goes with April because they're a couple, and saying that people don't live in America are traitors and they don't deserve to come back to the country. Something to that effect. That to me is problematic. That's offensive. That's unforgivable. That's despicable.
Totally disrespectful. Totally disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Who am I to tell anybody where they can live on this face of this earth? You know what I'm saying? What gives you the right to call someone a traitor because they choose to live where they want to live. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You
It's
have
called
no
choices.
exactly, and they have options, and they are exercising their right to go and move around. And he's never disowned America or said anything bad. He's always said he's a proud Texan, and we all know him to hail up America. He's proud, but he wants to try something different. Nothing wrong with that. But to say and
Ain't nothing wrong.
to speak and say someone should have said something. Somebody should have said, you know what, you really gone over the cliff now. That doesn't represent what I'm about. But everyone just sits there silent, and silence is complicit. You're complicit. So you better start to think a little clearer, community. What flock of birds you want to be a part of, because it's gotten a little messy out here. Not for the person who spoke, but for some of you.
Yeah, because I like my steak medium rare, don't mean something wrong with you because you like yours well. You know what I'm saying? It just don't work that way. Everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? What, everybody's supposed to be like you and want to live in America? I mean, no, sir. People can do and choose what they want to do with their own lives. It ain't making nobody lose no sleep. You know what I'm saying? And if you lose a sleep over where they living, then you got a serious problem.
And then they say, "Oh, I didn't say anything. I didn't. I'm not. I don't know." The point is, this whole thing is just ridiculous. And I'm only addressing it because you all addressed it, but I want to just put my take on it and just say, like, choose your friends, choose your people wisely, because this is the kind of foolishness they bring you in. And can you imagine if we were friends? Can you imagine if we were actually friends?
Right,
what he would do when you cross him or you don't. Like, this is the kind of person they're like snakes, and they pretend to be cool with you, but at any time they can strike you. Come on, man.
Well, here's what I just want to say real fast. You trying to criticize a man that has served this country. This man has served this country by participating in a military that's voluntary. You never, from what I understand, did any time in the service. But you are a patriot. Come on, man. FOH. Y'all know what that means. FOH. F out of here. That's what. If y'all want to know what it means, y'all put the F. Y'all know what the F means. But you can't criticize a man that has served his country. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For however many years he served it, you ain't got the right to criticize a man that done that. You know what I'm saying? Who are you? Who are we to criticize any man that has served this country? You know what I'm saying?
That was it. I'm like, okay, you're gone way over into the ditch, and there's no coming back from that. Because if this person was your friend, quote unquote, and I use a friend loosely, like someone that you're cool with, and they went so gutter, you think they're gonna treat anybody else any better? You think you're gonna do better by somebody else? He ain't gonna do better by somebody else. He's gonna do you worse.
So thank you for having me.
Crawling in the dirt and the mud while he was getting fat.
Right. So I just want to say thank you for having me, and I'm going to drop back down and continue to listen. All right.
Thank you, hon. So that's why I move how I move, and I see things the way that I see them. What happened was disgusting, what was said, and for me, it's unforgivable. Because when somebody was cool with somebody and went so gutter, there's no coming back from that. You've shown me repeatedly who you are and what you're about. And there are some things that maybe people are made to tolerate it, and they're built to kind of help them along and mentor them and guide them. I'm not built for that. I don't have time to waste. And that went too far. This is the point. You need to think before you speak. You need to, stop drinking liquor or whatever you need to do to have a clearer mind. Maybe you need to stop eating pork. I don't know what you need to do, but something needs to be done, because consistently comments have been made and it's just getting worse and worse. And that comment about a veteran that you were cool with and you went so low and dirty, ain't no coming back from that. Point blank, period. Period. And I only went there to see the original where this dispute started so I can see where it started. And I am clear and I can clearly see and understand why other people don't rock with you. But finish that now. It's 10:30. We're going to go into, and anyone who want to come up and talk about sheltering in place, having your preps at home ready in case you have to shelter in place. I did hear that the person in Maine was found in the woods. I'm a bit salty because I wanted some pain and suffering, a little bit in my heart, but that's probably not right. But I kind of wanted some pain and suffering. And unfortunately, I guess in a slight way, justice was served, but there was too much suffering. So let's talk about if we have to shelter in place or there's some kind of emergency. We talked about it last night on Gina, and there were some excellent tips. Check the chat because we dropped a couple of links in regards to QR code that you can have on your bracelet or a card or something. And when they scan it, they can get your medical information, key medical information. I don't know fully how it works, but I'm sure you can program it to have, any medications you're on, any allergies and stuff like that. So in case something happens, maybe you're in an accident, you're delirious, you're confused, someone's unconscious, all that kind of stuff could happen. Your key information is communicated. If you don't have ID on you, where some hospitals have you on file, and all the hospitals can connect to each other so they can get your information. Also, that can list emergency contacts so they can call somebody. I know somebody in another live way back mentioned having a card that's like laminated, that's either on your dashboard or in your glove compartment with 3 numbers that they can call in case something happens, and they can call, and your family, close friends, power of attorney, however you have your stuff organized, they can let them know that you're in a problem, you're in an accident, and where to find you, which hospital, and so forth. So I've been getting a lot of water. I've been storing up water since, I don't know, last year I was talking about it. I was storing up water. So I have a good amount of water. My aim is to have enough things for 3 months, but I am noticing that I'm buying some of the same things because I'm not keeping good track of what I already have. So I need to stop, take an inventory of what I have, where they are, because that's a big problem, is finding stuff. I know I have stuff, but where is it? And getting that organized. So I'm not buying things that I don't need. I'm buying what I'm missing from my stuff. So I know we talked about food, we talked about water. People talked about, having a 2A, having your firearm if you're allowed to, just in case. Because in this scenario, they're looking it was a manhunt, and suppose you had an encounter with the individual on your property, you might need a firearm. So for those who are not into that, think about it, look into it. Maybe it's something you can get some more information on. There's a lot of people in the community already, and they can help you to become a licensed and trained and responsible firearm owner, or or at least a user, how to use one. But I need to get a better list. But for sure, food and water. Food, water, and hygiene stuff, because we're not everything in this world is SHTF. Everyone's like, oh my god, SHTF. Sometimes it's just a power outage, it could be a flood, it could be an ice storm, pipes burst, it could be a whole bunch of things that are not necessarily SHTF. And you don't always want to be a burden on somebody else. Sometimes you just want to just take care of it yourself. Oh, hold on, let me see what Miss Ellen is saying. I have my medical emergency info in my phone, as well as a life alert with GPS, prepped up and everything. Oh, that's good. And that reminds me, an elderly person in the community was missing for, I would say, 1 to 2 nights. maybe it was 2 nights. He has dementia. Um, and they had a station nearby with police, and just they made a little office in a truck to kind of search, and they found him, and he was in good health, thank God. But I remember my friends, that happened to her. Her mother had dementia, and she went walking and couldn't remember where she lived, couldn't find her. I think once or twice, and that's the most scariest feeling, because you don't know if they're in a ditch, you don't know. And she was diabetic. They recommended a bracelet for her with a GPS, but when she looked into it, it was very expensive. But nowadays there's AirPods and stuff like that. So there's other options that may be more affordable and more versatile for your needs. So they have AirPods that you can put in the shoe or something, that you can find the person if need be, because some people, like a diabetic, needs to have their medication. They can't be out and getting cuts and bruises because it could be dangerous for them. And one person, this guy saw her mom, and he just like, he pulled over and asked if she was okay. He talked to her. He could tell that she was confused, and she didn't remember where she lived, but she kind of mentioned a street. So he says, okay, let me go down the street and see if something, somebody's looking for her. The police were there, and then he got accused of doing, like, sometimes you do a good thing and then you end up in hot water for no reason. He drove her. It was cold, it was winter, and he did not feel right about somebody who was not dressed properly out in the cold, and he decided to at least try to figure out where she kind of lives, and maybe after he would have taken her to the police, I don't know. But he was doing a good thing. And it's difficult to look for somebody if you don't even know where to look. Yeah, they live in this neighborhood, but you don't know how far they walked. So that's very important, to have some way to track not just your children, but your elders, because dementia and Alzheimer's is a big problem. Um, yeah, we need an inventory, you guys, because we're buying the same things that we don't need, especially when you go to Costco like me. So I make sure, I have dry. Good morning, Jones Truth. I have not clothes. I have things and dry goods that I can cook. But if the power goes out, I do have things that I can just warm up, like the packs of rice. Hey, Robin, good morning. Packs of rice that I can, just warm up. I have, I even checked my cupboard yesterday. I have a pack of Costco of curry chickpeas. They expired in 2022. I could have sworn I used my stuff. But even though it expired, I'm going to be eating them, because really it's packaged good. It's prepared. It's can't, like, it's not gone bad, guys. So don't listen to me, but I don't always follow expiry dates. Check the item. Most likely it's still good. So I'm going to be using that. I'm going to just eat it and then buy another case to replace that case of stuff. I have a lot of things that are not meat because I don't always feel like eating meat. So I have, curry chickpeas, I have lentils. Um, I have things that I can drink. I have apple sauces that you can just, have applesauce, things that can give you some nourishment. Things that, like, in powder form, that you can put in your water to give you vitamins in case you're indefinitely. The thing that I'm missing is heat. We have heaters, but we have to test them out, make sure that this still works. Kerosene heaters. I was at Canadian Tire. It's like a kind of like an Ace Hardware-ish kind of store. Um, and I was speaking with my sister about the heaters and the propane. So a girl came and she just started talking with us as well. And she's like, oh, this one doesn't heat very good because it only directs the heat in one direction. It doesn't give that omnidirectional. I'm like, oh, and she's giving me some tips. She lives in a trailer. And so she relies on having her own heat. She says that, a tank of the propane only lasts so many hours on high, so many on low. Same with solar power. You have to kind of see how long the tank is going to stretch you. Then she says you have to open the window because, carbon monoxide, there's fumes. You can't be in a trailer, have the heater on, propane or kerosene, and the windows are closed. You have to have a fresh air. So she gave me all these tips. I'm like, oh my God, this is very, it's not just as much as just buying a simple heater. So think about that for those of you who are in the cold climate. I was watching Black Guns and Gardens video about, he had some preps. He was talking about some preps. And he also had one a year ago, I think now, about things for your vehicle that you should have in your vehicle. Check out those videos because they're very good tips. Things to have in your vehicle. especially if you're in a cold climate. If you're in a warm climate, you can kind of get away with some stuff like, I can just call somebody, call cab, call an Uber. In a cold climate, when the cold is hitting you, you don't have that luxury. You need to have enough gas in your tank. And I was notorious for keeping my tank and letting it go low, 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 low. And then, oh, I'll fill it up tomorrow. I make sure I go to bed with a full tank of gas because your gas line will freeze. Let me see what Monique. I just bought an amazing propane heater for my greenhouse in case the power goes out. I got on Amazon. It's called Gasland Heater. Okay. I don't have a greenhouse yet, and that's also why I'm working on, because you need to heat it sometimes, depending on where you live, because you know some plants can't handle it. So worry about your heat. Make sure you have gas in your car. Be in the habit of, for me, once it gets to half, I have to fill it back up. Hey, Toya's Pantry, I have to fill it up because don't get into the habit of getting to a quarter tank, or you have to make sure at a half a tank. If you're in a cold climate, just go fill the tank back up and keep it full, because stuff could happen at any. Somebody had said that something could happen at any point in time, even in the night. Let's say that you get a police come to your door, you have to evacuate the neighborhood right now because of some, let's say, gas leak or something, and your tank is pretty much on E, and then you have to go and line up at the gas station with 2,500,000 people. That's not good. You don't know what's going to happen during the night, so it's in our best interest to make sure that our gas tank is full in case something happens. And stuff has happened. I had to go to the hospital in the middle of the night. People have an emergency and scrambling around and worrying about gas and X, Y, and Z. I now have an air pump in my car to blow up my tires because one of my snow tires has a slow leak. The guy redid it. He's got to do it again and seal it, because what happened before was I didn't have my own rims for my snow tire, so they were keep going on and off different rims, and that could have warped the tire. I'm not a car person; those of you who know that may know. And they've been on their own rims for quite a while now, but I had to get them re put on and make sure that it was sealed. Hey, Nikki, but I had to have a pump in my car just in case, because you don't know where you're gonna be. Your tire is low. You're gonna have to find a gas station. Sometimes you're not where you recognize the area, and you have to pay for the air now. The pumps at the gas stations are no longer free, which is absolutely wicked, but that's what they do. So make sure you have washer fluid in your vehicle. Those of you who -40 Celsius, we have over here washer fluid so that you can see where you're going. Let me see what D macro. I purchased a recipe book last week that has recipes for some meat dishes, pasta dishes. Okay, so you to try. Yep, try your dishes now. I'm gonna be doing some more canning, so I'm gonna be following TT's Pantry and Gina's. They have some canning stuff. It's good to have things in a can that you can just warm up. If the power goes out, you're good. You still can warm up something even on the barbecue. Let me just see here. Last winter I lost power and it was -30. I lost lots of my tropical plants. Good. Unfortunately, you lost plants, but yeah, you have to make sure. You just don't know. And even that's why people are asking me if I'm going to heat my chicken coop during the winter. I'm not. I haven't seen. Actually, that's a lie. I think I did see Fifi have a heater in her coop. I think she may have had a heater in her coop, but the run, I know she does not. She just has it wrapped in plastic and stuff. And a lot of people I've seen do not have heat. Now, I'm obviously going to keep an eye on, make sure that they're okay. I check them several times a day. So I'm not going to just, but if there's a problem, I will add a little heat. I'm going to insulate if need be. But they have a coop in a shed, so they should have that extra buffer. And with their own, sleeping together in a flock, that will keep them warm. I'm not really wanting to add heat because if the power goes out and they're used to having heat, that shock is actually dangerous and that could happen while you're sleeping. So I'm really not keen on that. So let me know, Fifi, if you had heat in your coop. I think you did. Yeah, Fifi's like a 5-star hotel. Her chickens are living good. That's what I'm working on. Also, so I'm working on getting heat and propane or we already have kerosene, and I don't know if people have anything against kerosene, but I already have kerosene, so I'm kind of just sticking to that. It's kind of tried, tested, and true. You can buy large jugs of kerosene. I don't think it burns efficiently, but I don't have to have it on full blast. I can put on my downfill coat. I can put on, warm clothes flannel and put it on low just to keep me warm in a bedroom. I don't have to have the whole house heated. What else can I recommend? I have oil lamps. So I know people have candles. I have candles as well, but I do have the old fashioned oil lamps. My parents had them and we kept them. I don't want to throw them out. I think they're good, and you can keep them burning like on a bathroom counter while, so people can see where they're going. And most Caribbean people have kind of grown up with that, the oil lamps, and you hang it somewhere. You have, you handle it properly. You don't want it to fall and break and catch on fire. But I swear by the oil lamps. Quilts, yes, Miss Ellen, a lot of quilts, flannel socks. It's good to have flannels, even those wool socks, to put them over a pair because I find them itchy. But those warm socks, wear proper boots. I have several pair of boots. Well, I'm in a cold climate, so you got your Uggs. You got ones that have better grip so that you're not slipping and falling in the snow. You have, fleece lined boots. You have all kind of boots that can keep you warm and dry. If you're sheltering in place, what else would you need? And I'm trying to think of different climates and different I guess even a battery pack, a reserve like solar or just reserve um packs for your phone. I have about 3 battery packs for my cell phone. Each pack will give me 2 full charges, so that's about 6 charges right there. I used to have the new ones in the box and then using one, but I'm like, that makes no sense. So I have them all charged up and I'm rotating them so that they're all being used, and that's what I'm doing. So if you have any other ideas, just keep them in the chat, type them up. Let me drop the link one more time. And drop the link, and we'll keep just sharing ideas. Hopefully we can get some of these things addressed before the end of the year if we're lacking anything. I bought the propane heater to replace a kerosene one. That thing stunk. Yeah, that's what they said. You had to open the window because it has a I'm only using the kerosene in my lamps. Okay. Yeah, they said you have to open a window because it's that's exactly it. I have a pair of pajar. I got a pair of pajars on clearance. My sister was mad because there's only one size left and it was my size. So I got those. And for those of you in Ontario, there is a pajar sale this weekend. For those of you in Brampton, the boots and the downfill coats and all the triple fat gooses kind of style, they're on sale. There's another sale that I was sent, so you can get some winter clothes, like high quality name brand ones for the cheap. So Pajar is like Sorel. I think a lot of you know Sorel, those boots that kind of have like the duckies and then it has a boot. That's that helps keep your foot warm and dry. Hold on, Toya, I'm letting you in here. Hey Toya.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. Hope you can hear me okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I'm so glad you're sharing about um, keeping warm and other different types of, heat sources, because yeah, the cold is real. And if you don't have anything, you know.
It's very difficult, and unless you've experienced it, because I hear people in Florida, oh, I'm cold. You don't know cold. If you in Florida or them southern, you don't know cold. I'm talking cold when your lip splits in half.
Ooh,
You're and then you have to put Vaseline and it takes like a week to heal. The splits on you. When you smile and the sides of your mouth crack because it's so dry. I'm talking about them kind of cold. Cold when you're chattering, you're just you're chattering and you can't stop because you have that chill in your body. You guys don't know cold. You don't know cold. You don't know. When your dog won't go out because it's like, no. It's too cold to, you need to put a bathroom right here because I'm not going out there with that. That's the real cold. And it's not, it's it's very hard to deal with if you're not used to it. Yeah, that lip split. You gotta literally go out with Vaseline to act as a wind barrier so that when you don't get that wind burn. Have you got wind burn before, Toya? You get that wind burn?
oh my goodness. Look, I had to come up. I had to make my own. I call it my own Toya's Joy Butter, just to, you gotta lacquer up.
lap. And then people go, "Why are you so greasy?" I'm like, "You greasy when you go out in the morning, and by an hour later, you're just right because your skin's sucked. You're walking out like a basted turkey. You have no choice because you're gonna be cracking up.
Yeah.
Your skin is um. Let me see. Hold on. Let me keep up with the chat while I'm talking to you. 1 second here. Okay, so Monique was saying, whoops, what happened to that? Give me a second. I look like a crazy homeless person dressed in all wool and in a fur. Trust me, I have layers and layers. And then you actually get hot and sweat when you're shoveling the snow because you're working. And it's a weird feeling to be freezing, but then you're sweating at the same time. It's a very weird feeling.
Yeah.
Let me see what's. Or when shoveling causes hands to chap and crack, bones still hurt hours later under the blanket. Yep. And your feet your toes still feel cold, even under the duvet, even with socks on and the heater on. And once you go to bed, I don't care how much you have to go pee. I'm holding it. Cause I'm not going back out to reclimatize to come back under. No, 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 no. Sometimes I just hold it. I'm like, okay, I can't hold it anymore. Let me go. And then you run and go and you come back.
Yeah, that's when you bust out with the porta potty, the bedside commode.
I'm telling you, you're already you're outside. I'm telling you. So you have to be ready. And some people have been shut in their house because it snowed so heavily that over here, some people have screen doors. My house now does not have a screen door. I actually want a screen door. So the door for your house, you pull it in towards you, but the screen door pushes out. So if the snow is heavy, you can't push it out because now it's stuck. And literally, if you don't have another exit for your house, you are snowed into your house. So that's happened to a few people where it's like they got to call someone to shovel them out, but you have to wait sometimes because they can't get out of their or whatever happened. You have to account for that sometimes. So don't just think about SHT as a
Yeah.
heavy snowfall or an ice storm. You're not going nowhere, especially elderly people. They're not going to risk slipping and falling.
That,
Let me
that's
just keep
that's
up.
why.
Okay, I'm scrolling down. Hold on.
Okay.
So Fifi saying she goes hunting in -0 degrees. It's a way to practice in case of exactly. You some. It's hard to keep climatized, but I'm telling you. Thankfully, I have a deep love for snow. It's those cold bones. Yeah, lay on the snowbank 3 minutes before going in. Snow is actually warm. That's why people use them as igloos. When you pack them up right, it actually insulates. So it's not. It's how you choose to use it. You have to kind of learn how snow works. Yeah, avoid nighttime washroom breaks. I ain't. Mm-mm. And I did that camping once, and you're. No, sir. We used to wrap our feet with saran wrap. And in the wintertime, ladies had to put Vaseline and cotton socks because your feet get dry. Pedicure. Over here, we kind of get out of hand. I do, anyways. When it's not summer and open toe season, things get a little rough over here. Rough. I am really thinking about a USB. Do they have USB? Hey, TLC, I don't know if I said hi to you. I don't know if I missed you. They have USB heated socks?
What?
That is what? But I think I need that because that's where I get cold. I cannot tolerate my hands in the cold and my feet. That is where I will get frostbite first. I don't have the tolerance. I have to have on thick gloves. But the problem is like, for instance, if I'm putting air in my tire, the gloves prevent you from having the dexterity to turn off that, cap. And so you have to take off your gloves and then like, you got to move fast because literally you can get frostbite in what, a minute? Less than a minute,
Wow.
if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Black Guns. Yes, I remember the grocery store bags when we were kids to keep it from leaking. Hey, Jova, good morning. So just keep in mind, and Jova gave some good tips yesterday as well about preparedness. But what do you have in your house to kind of keep you over for a few days or a week? Hey, oh, you're in the bushes. Thank you, African dreaming. So just have things in your house Not everything. I understand that a lot of you don't even want to talk about SHTF. It's just the anxiety and this, it gets you feeling, stressed out. Just worry about a weather issue, an emergency. I don't know. The police say, you have to evacuate or you have to stay at home. Do you have what you need? And last night they talked about no Narcan, which we have called here naloxone, um, which is what you do when someone's having an overdose. And a lot of people didn't know about it. I mentioned it when I did my CPR course. I mentioned it to those people to make sure they get that. You don't know who or what you're going to encounter. And in my opinion, it's not our job to judge. They shouldn't be using those products. They shouldn't be overdosing in the first place. Listen, that's not my job. If I see somebody in front of me having a medical emergency and I can do something to assist, that's all I need to worry about. That's why we take first aid. We're not here to be judge and jury and executioner. So let's just keep our mind off of that. It's free at most pharmacies in Ontario. I don't know about other provinces. In the States, I think they give it to you from different facilities. If you can have that in your car, I would recommend having that in your car. If you deal with anything to do with being on the road, some of our workers at work who are truck drivers, they have it in their truck because you don't know what you're going to encounter on the roads, and you're going to probably be the first line of defense. Now, it's not hard to use. I have the one that's a needle because they didn't have the one that you just inhale like a puffer. They didn't have any more of that one. I know how to dispense insulin, so it's not an issue for me. I know how to do that, but I would recommend just getting the inhaler one. And from what they say, it doesn't matter. Even if the person is not having an overdose, it's not going to hurt them. So you don't have to worry about assessing the person correctly. Just give it to them and call the ambulance and let them take care of the rest. That can buy them some more time. So that is something, if you are first aid trained, if you know how to deal with kind of being a frontline or first responder kind of person where you deal with children, adults, anything, have that in your bag. Okay, so TLC is going to be in one location. Oh yeah, I know. You said when are you finally going to be in the one location? Right? You said, I think you said December. I can't remember. You told us. So she's going to be in one location. It's going to be better. Let me see here. Depending on how cold and the amount of skin exposure, you can experience frostbite within 10 minutes. And it doesn't take long, I'm telling you. And your fingertips don't have any fat. Your knuckle is just bone and skin. So you have to be conscientious. Make sure you're dressed properly. Some of us, get hot easily. Have layers. Take them on and off. Don't be out here in these cold, and those of you in the heat, make sure you're hydrated. Hydration is a problem. Not just water. I find for my elders, I have to have Pedialyte on hand. And I don't recommend or like Gatorade or that kind of stuff. It's full of crap. But if someone's in a pinch and they're really dehydrated, something like that can help them. Coconut water might take too long. If you have electrolyte packets, definitely have some of that, because when your elder is dehydrated, it's not a good thing. Those of you with small children, we talked about allergic reactions. I don't have Benadryl. I know of Benadryl. I've used it, but I don't have a stock of Benadryl here. So I'm going to have to make sure I purchase some so that just in case somebody's here and having a reaction, that can be dealt with. Let me see what D Macro is saying here. Just a note for our cold weather people, you can treat frost nip by rewarming. All other frostbite requires medical attention because it can permanently damage skin, muscle, bone, and other tissue. And you can even lose limbs sometimes. For those who feel that it's only for junkies, think again. Someone can mess up their mess by accident. Children can ingest it. Exactly. Okay, you have the nasal spray. And I know somebody's child who took medication by accident because the babysitter had something laying around and the child, so you don't know. You just don't know. And that was before Narcan. She had to go and maybe get the child's stomach pumped. So let's not make judgments. Just have what you need just in case. As someone who's worked in the healthcare field, we have to remember when rendering first aid, we have to protect ourselves, but first instincts always to save, yes, save and preserve life. And if your intention, let me have some more water. 1 second. I'm gonna have to get another bottle. If your intention, you need to make up your mind now, is to help people. Whatever happens, you are going to be actively involved in some capacity. You're not going to do surgery, but you're going to be involved in some capacity. If that's your intention, then you need to make sure you have lots of gloves. And, people have mentioned not to get the black gloves. You have to get something with a color so that you can see if there's any blood. Make sure you have gloves. I have gloves in my handbag. I have gloves in my car. You need to have a mask, especially if you're going to do CPR. Nobody's going to do CPR on a stranger and do mouth to mouth. So if you're intending on performing CPR and you want to do more than just compressions, you want to perform CPR, you're going to have those masks, those one-way masks. Otherwise, when something happens, you're going to be scrambling around. So these are all on Amazon. I have some things on my wish list, but I'm actively working on getting those things. If something happens, I need to have those things on me. So in my vehicle, and the gloves are always in my bag. And I usually have a surgical mask that I can just pop on in case, I have to be in close proximity with somebody. But in terms of CPR, you need to invest in that mask, that one-way valve mask or two. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Um, that's what you need to focus on. Hold on a second here.
Yeah. I'm going to have to dip out on you.
No problem, Toya. Thanks for coming up there.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Great information.
No problem. Fifi saying, I always keep extra clothes in my vehicle once the fall hits because it snows here in the fall. Yeah, I used to, but because this is what happened. I work from home anyway, so I don't have to do that anyways. But if I'm going somewhere, I probably would get a bag. Sometimes you go places and you don't realize you have clothes in your bag. So when I went to cross the border, this is years ago, and you have gym clothes in your trunk or clothes in your trunk, the officers, the US border starts to question and act like you're not going to come back to Canada. They think that's like evidence that you are coming over the border and you're planning on staying illegally, and all kind of something happen. So it's kind of like you kind of have a phobia in the back of your mind, but you are correct. Have some clothes in the back of your car, a change of clothes. Yes, adults have onshore available, and I think some people who are diabetic use another brand. There's another brand, Glucerna. Glucerna. So if you need to have that on hand. It's even good for you. If you can't, again, I don't recommend like drinking and eating that kind of food because it's really crap, but in an emergency, that's good to have. Hey, Texas Lala, I don't know if I saw you earlier. You can purchase the store brand for most meds like Benadryl, and it's usually at least, yes, I think Equate or Great Value. I think it's Equate. I'm gonna go and get some of those things because I remember Erica was talking about certain things in her first aid kit, and I think even Fat Guy mentioned he had a big bag of all this stuff to have in case you encounter in his car. So I went and I got a whole bunch of stuff from Dollar Tree in terms of alcohols, peroxides, a bunch of band-aids, stuff like that, just to start a kit. Have that in my medicine cabinet here, and then have a tote in my car. Gloves, gauze, the muscle tensor strap for shoulders, a sling, all kind of stuff. Start building your supply because you just don't know. And a lot of times when an emergency happens, and everyone's scrambling around, you can be that, at least you can provide the supplies. If somebody else is a nurse or have healthcare experience, you can just give them what they need and let them do what they can do. You don't have to always be the one doing it, but be prepared. EMS will administer Narcan as a preventative. They gave it to my mom when she had a bad heat stroke in case she messed up her exactly. But I know I saw somebody say yesterday, oh, druggies and junkie. Not everybody's a junkie. Sometimes the way you metabolize something can present like it presents as an overdose, but you're not a junkie. You just had your body just did something, or the meds were wrong, or you took too many or you took it too close. I don't know. Stuff happens. Yes, they sell the mouth mask and hangs. Yes. So you need to get what you need because when I did my CPR class, she did say that as long as you're doing compressions, it helps. It does. But if that was you or your family member and they were in a medical emergency, you would probably like that somebody was prepared and equipped to give them the full CPR to help them until the paramedics got there. And some of us can't do CPR. It's very physical, very physical. But, I'm certainly going to try and I need to make sure I have the mask because I'm not doing breaths into someone I don't know. My blood family, I think I'll do it without hesitation. But if it annoy you, no. So get the mask. Um, Good morning. Okay. Okay. So you said good morning. Okay. You said something first, then you said good morning. Okay. So you text us. Double dog, good to see you. Um, you should always hold on. Let me see what you should always get airway devices for CPR mouth to mouth. Yeah. I at work we were trained on the AED machine and in the CPR class. It makes it very simple to use. And I think it's important if you're a part of an organization that maybe they should invest in that. So at church, we're going to try to invest in that. The only issues that we're not open to the public, like a community center is. Let me put some lip balm on because it's getting dry in here. But when we're having services or when we're there, it would be good to have people to have access to an AED machine. We have elders. We've had people who've had medical issues before, and we have to sometimes spend the money. Protein Plus offers more nutrients and has less sugar than Glucerna. Okay. I know my dad had some because my friend gave me her dad's stuff. He passed, so she gave me. Good morning, Erica. She gave me his stuff. We don't really eat that stuff. I don't want man-made machine processed stuff very much, but I will do it in an emergency. But I try to make sure that we have what we need that we can access and eat. That's more healthy. I don't want that. I keep an N95 my vehicle. Yes, I got masks everywhere. I got cloth masks. I got cloth masks with a filter. I got a couple of N95. Mine are the black ones. I have surgical masks. I have all kind of stuff just in case because I don't want to be in close proximity with somebody and then they're talking and they're spraying in your face because I don't like that. But I don't want to not help somebody. Liquid Benadryl, it is because it absorbs faster. My dad had to use that. He had a bad reaction. So you know what? That's better advice. I'm going to carry the pills and have that in my vehicle because I'm not sure how liquid would do in my car in the winter and the summertime. It might be too extreme for the temperatures, but that will be in my home, the liquid one. Because yes, you need something fast acting because if someone's having a reaction and their airway is closing, and they start to panic as well. You don't want to deal with that. It's keep extra clothes, water, food, and chains in the wintertime. Who's using chains? What are you using chains for? To pull your vehicle out, I guess. Using chains. And a shovel. We've had to shovel ourselves out of a road, into a parking lot. So yeah, a shovel in your vehicle for those of you in the cold climate. A snow shovel, not to bury a body. A snow shovel. Let me see here. Keeping up. About a sling. It's not a bad idea to keep a set of old sheets. I have an old sheet in my car and I have an old blanket just to use as a liner if I'm carrying stuff so it doesn't mess up the car. But that can be cut real quick. And I have an axe in my car as well. Don't ask me why. I have an axe. And that has a built-in knife, so I can pop out the knife part out the handle, and I can cut. And scissors come in handy as well. Cutting fabric to make, gauze, bandages, whatever. What else would be useful? Somebody mentioned something last night. I just can't remember. I think it was carbon. She mentioned. Oh, she had the allergies. She had different allergy stuff. different stuff she has shown. I just can't recall, but if you guys remember, she had like allergy stuff and I think for burns and different things that she had in that bag she pulled out. Yeah, you can't count on there being a first aid kit and A&D machine. Yes, elders especially not do not metabolize the same. So just, also a good thing to have. Hold on, I started purchasing things in powder form to save space. Yeah, I have that's exactly why I have my things in more powder to have more space. Now, I think it's also good for those of you who are around diabetics because diabetics are young kids are diabetics and old people, not just elderly people. Having either packs of sugar or sugar tablets. You can buy sugar tablets from the drugstore, the pharmacy, and you just pop it in their mouth. It can dissolve very quickly. But if you want to just use a pack of sugar, open it and pour it in their mouth, does the same thing. So having that handy will help people when they're having a low blood sugar. You can quickly act and get them what they need so their body can, that has happened to people I know many a times, and it sometimes manifests itself like delusion and confusion. I remember, like, the person's also on edge, they're twitching, they're turning, they're acting strange, and it's not always like, lightheaded and dizzy and typical hypoglycemic and hyperglycemic symptoms. Sometimes they just act weird and they just feel funny and they start, behaving erratically. Sometimes that is also low sugar. So just be quickly ask the questions to kind of, see what the problem is, but put some sugar in their mouth. And y'all, let's be serious about this. Don't sleep on it. Let's not wait for something to affect us personally. Let's get our preps in check little by little, especially when supplies are still available and there's not a frenzy. A lot of people want to act like preppers are hoarders and stuff like that. What I did notice in the last few weeks, the inflation, and we've been talking about this, on and off for I would say a year now. The inflation is bad. You go to places, and I was feeling a hankering for some Chef Boyardee. This is the most garbage thing to eat, but for some reason I was feeling nostalgic and felt like having some Chef Boyardee. I went to the store, went down the aisle to look for the stinking Chef Boyardee. And I like the beefaroni or I don't even like it. That's not even true. I was going to eat the beefaroni or the lasagna one. It was $3 and something cents for one can of something. Who's paying $3 for one can? That used to be under $1. And then they had beans for a buck something. So obviously, if you're in a jam, you're going to buy the beans. They are making the prices so ridiculous. Then my sister she sent me a picture. We buy a lot of toilet paper and we buy it from Costco. It's just easier. You buy a big bunch. It's a rolls of 30 and it lasts you for a long time. And the price is better than buying it at the store unless they're having a special sale. She took a picture because what happens is you keep buying toilet paper and the old ones stay in the back and you keep using the new ones. So she took a picture of an old pack and a new pack. There's still 30 rolls in the big package, but the amount of squares on each roll has gone down by 45 squares. So I'll have to go down and look at it. But if it has I think the new packs have 325 squares per roll. No, the old ones had 425 squares per roll, and the new one deduct 45 squares. So when you do the math, I did the math, you're actually getting 2 to 3 less rolls per package. So your 30 pack of toilet paper is really 27. It's not 30, but they make it look like it's still 30. It's still big and fluffy. So it's shrinkflation. So you guys need to pay attention because they're being very sneaky with the packaging. When you check the applesauce, you check your old packages. So I want to start keeping some of not a lot because I want to be a hoarder, but like an old package of something, either the box or like the individual package. Because when you start checking the old ones from the new ones, they've given you less and they're charging you a lot more. Not for two. Hold on, let me scroll back up. Ice melt. Okay, you think about, okay, that's for winter. Yeah. Ice melt helps salt. Morning Bud files. Let me get back up. Chains. Oh, chains for tires. Okay, I have never used those. I don't have it that bad here, but I do have snow tires. Um, because I never had snow tires before. My old car was a 5-speed, so I didn't have to rely on the tires because I could just gear down and I knew how to do the vehicle to keep control and not spin out, which is not the case now because now I have automatic, which I think I'm going to leave and go back to a stick shift. So I never had snow tires. With an automatic vehicle, you have to have snow tires. No matter how good of a driver you are, all you can do is press the brake. You can pump the brake, but the tires lock and then you're just sliding on through. Also, my friend told me, he's like, it's not just, the snow. The rubber on snow tires can handle colder temperatures. Your all season tires literally turn into bricks or hard. It's not malleable at a certain temperature. So if you have an automatic vehicle and you live in a cold climate, it's good to invest in snow tires. If you have a 5-speed, you can kind of get away with a little bit more, like I was. I guess powder and water soluble could be the same. Yeah, it could be. But water soluble probably dissolves more quickly. Cat litter can help gain traction on ice. Keep a candle in the car with a large metal coffee can. This is enough to keep you from freezing. I never had to do that, but yeah, people have to do that when you got stuck on the highway all night because they close the highway. Extra medication, vitamins, wipes, lighters, candles. Yes. I don't have a lot of candles. All my candles are like, scented like ambiance candles, but I'm going to go to the dollar store and get a few more. I do have this, which hold on. Let me lean over and pick it up. Ooh. I got this lamp from the dollar store, and this is, I showed it before. I still have it in the box. It was $4. It's from our local Dollarama because we have Dollarama and Dollar Tree now. Um, it's a oil lamp lantern thing. So it's the old ones, and you put the fabric wick up. I don't think it has a wick, but I think I bought some wicks separately. So this was $4 at the time, and it has the instructions. So and I think you can use kerosene in here, but you can also use quote unquote lamp oil. And it has a handle, and it's glass, obviously here, and then this is a solid metal. So they're selling these again, for those of you who are into that kind of stuff. So I have a few of those instead of having candles. That might be okay for a car too. I wouldn't put the oil in it until I need it, but that might be, maybe, not for sure. We'll see. Matches. Yep, you need matches as well. I have a lot of matches all over the place, and I don't even smoke, but I have lighters and matches all over the place. I have livestock, so I have to have extra food and way to feed them as well. Add clean clothes can be used for bandages. Yes, and old sheets is good. Old towels. Never can tell when a big wound needs to covering. That is true. Let's keep catching up. Yes, my wife, she's a diabetic, and I keep a small bottle of honey and in her car, and her to go bad. Oh, I think you're saying it doesn't go bad. Honey, yeah, honey doesn't go bad. Exactly. Honey, if you don't know when your sugar is going to go low, and it's not like they're not eating, but sometimes your body doesn't metabolize things properly, and that you need to make sure you have that with you. Once you have someone who's diabetic, make sure you have candies and stuff nearby. Oh no, ma'am, not for tuna. I'm telling you. The toilet paper. So she sent me the picture, and I see it now because I do have an old pack. I have some packs of toilet paper from 2020 because they're in the back of my supply cupboard, and the new ones keep going in the front. And because it doesn't go stale, it doesn't have an expiry date, I don't swap them out. So when we saw the difference, we're like, mm-mm. Now, mind you, it's still cheaper for us to buy it at Costco, but you're getting significantly less. So just be mindful. Try to price match and use your coupons as much as you can to make your dollar stretch. Yeah, it shrunk. It definitely shrunk. It's still bigger than the regular, but that's what they're doing. And I'm like, so we send it to the family. We're like, what, these people so wicked? It's gone up. Paper towel, I didn't check and compare the old versus the new for the I use the Kirkland because it's good quality. To me, I love it. It's better than buying the what you call it? Bounce? Is it not bounce? It's bounty. Is it? Yeah, bounty. There's inflation in what you pay. The deflation is the quality and the quantity. So you need to be mindful because and the reason why people prep is also because of inflation. It's not because they're hoarders. People who had ample supply and bought things on sale, couponed and they weren't hit so bad by inflation because they had ample of what they needed. They paid a lot less for it. They bought things in bulk, and when the prices went higher, it didn't really affect them. People like me who are like just buying what you need, we're like, what the? But the new toilet paper can remove more. No, they can't. It can't. Trust me. It can't. Morning lashes. And yeah, don't buy. My aunt told me this years ago, and she's passed on now, but she told me this years ago. And sometimes you think, how do I say this? Sometimes you think that what you're being sold is good advice and it's helpful. It's not. She told us a long time ago, she says, do not buy no recycled toilet paper. You don't want no recycled stuff on your parts. Buy fresh, brand new, toilet paper. So anything that says, from recycled products, don't buy it. You're gonna do yourself a lot of damage, a lot of hurt. You're gonna wonder why these things are happening. Do not use recycled product. Recycled product is for like lining your chicken coop and litter for your animal. Like it's not to be used in your delicate areas. So do not buy recycled toilet paper and make sure the paper can be used in septic systems so that it's all in one. So you don't have to worry about buying a special one for septic. And the Kirkland one can be used, it says, in septic systems. We keep small wood boards in the trunk for mud road. Yes, you can get stuck. Hey, the chicken, you can get stuck and your wheels are just spinning. So make sure, similar to the kerosene lamps I grew up using. Yeah, that's exactly the one. The ones that we grew up were more durable. And this is okay, but it's not as good as the older ones. Oh, vegetable oil. I don't know about you guys, vegetable oil is mad expensive. The last time my aunt was here, she's here again now, actually, from Jamaica. The last time she was here was the ending of 2019. And when we packed several barrels to send back to Jamaica, the 3 liter or 5 liter, whatever the I don't use corn oil or vegetable oil. I use olive oil, avocado oil, grapeseed oil. So I don't really fry food anyway, so I don't have that stuff. That was about on sale, either $3.99 or $4.99 for the jug. If it wasn't on sale, maybe $5, $6. On sale, that bottle of oil is $7.99. When it's not on sale, it's kind of going up to sometimes $10.99 and even $12.99. Now I know why my mom used to always keep track of prices. She would say, 15 years ago, that used to cost, 3 shilling and 2 shekel and 5 pence and all kind of like what? But that's how you keep track of inflation because you're seeing how much things used to cost and now it doesn't cost that. So for us to send, so when we packed the barrel at that time, and I bought her bags of rice, the big bags of rice, and I got them for, I think it was $5.99 for the huge bags of rice, and they didn't have any more in stock, so I got a rain check. Some stores still do rain checks sometimes, so that when it comes into stock, you tell them beforehand how many bags of rice you wanted. And for some reason, I said, give me 5 bags of rice. And I went back and got the rest, and they matched the price that they had before. We sent, I'm talking whole bunch of stuff, not knowing what was coming, that the shutdowns are going to be coming and travel was going to be, difficult. So much rice, beans, and stuff you can get in Jamaica, but it's actually cheaper to ship it sometimes, not always, but sometimes. To buy a bag of rice now is not $5.99. It's on sale sometimes $12.99, and that's for like the smaller basmati size bags, never mind the big ones. Oil is $8. Same items, same size, 2 and 3 times the price. How are people going to live when your income hasn't increased? So that's why people have always sworn by buying in bulk. So she's here now. We're probably going to have to pack a barrel. I'm not sure if it's going to be even worth it, because to pack the barrel, to pay to ship the barrel, and when it goes to Jamaica, you got to pay to clear it through customs and pay the taxes down there. And we've been doing that because it's easier to have what they need. And my aunt used to share with people. Those days are done. You have to worry about yourself and your family and your household. But the same, hey planter, good morning to you. The same stuff is 2 and 3 times the prices. For those of you who live in Florida and New York, you have better prices to ship things to the Caribbean. I know that for a fact. But from over here, it's a little bit more difficult, but it's still worth it because your family can have what it needs. 1 second, I'm just keeping up with the chat. So we'll see how far our money goes this time. We may have to make some different decisions. 1 second here. So she's just saying, I found honey that was turned brown expired. I don't me use expired stuff all the time and I'm still here. Hey, sweet thumb. Good morning. Yeah, extra feminine hygiene products. That's very important. Again, Costco, you can buy it and it has, double packs, triple packs. If it's something that you're going to use, don't be stingy and buy it. Buy the big boxes and stock it up at the wholesale places. Just buy what you need. If you know you need that stuff, don't hesitate. Buy them in bulk. Yeah, you should use. No, you should not use the macro. Change that. You should not use from recycled materials. You forgot the not part. 1 second here. Lee Valet sells Dietz lanterns. They are a bit of an investment, but the quality is exceptional. I'm going to start keeping stuff and not throw them away. When your parents have stuff from back in the day, keep them. The cost is unbelievable. You got that right when compared to 3 years ago. Unbelievable. When I heard that Jamaica had a bag of chips for 1,000 Jamaican dollars, which is about $10 Canadian, who's buying a pack of Lay's chips for $10? That's how much it was costing, which is why people weren't eating so much junk food. Oh, Lee Valley. Okay. There's a Lee Valley here. I've never been into Lee Valley. It's not like you have to make a special trip, but I'll check them out because they have a few things that I have seen in the flyer I do like. But honey, yeah, real honey does not have an expiration date. I have honey from 5 years ago from Jamaica, from my uncle's hive, and I'm still using it. This is what I've learned in the last 3 to 5 years, maybe even longer. Expiry dates, they're just suggestions. They're suggestions. Sometimes you can open something before the expiry date and it's gone bad. Sometimes you can open something months after and it's fine. You have to just see how you store it and just take it from there. They're just suggestions. We are Caribbean and it's a running joke. If there's mold on the cheese, you just cut off the mold and eat the good part. That's what we've been doing. When you grow up with things are tight, you just cut off the little junja and you just eat the rest of it. And I'm still here. It's good for probiotics. Don't worry about it. That's why I find it extra. Hey, Renaissance, I find it funny when people who have had hard times, they're a bit more resilient. Some of you, expiry date. Oh, the black, my war paint. Don't worry about it. If it's still good, you can tell. Your nose will tell you by the smell and the texture. Don't worry about it. Which is why my household has learned to live with much. Yeah, you have to live with much less. There's a lot of less waste. There's a lot of less snacking over here. And I like to snack. Can't snack as much. We need to grab extra food items. Aldi's and Walmart price drop starts November 1st. 70 Aldi items will be cut by 50% till the end of the year. Walmart ends December 20th. So now's the time. Get your stuff stocked up. Forget the gifts and the foolishness. Go and get what you need. Things that can heat up easily. Things that are healthy. I can't have a lot of salt, so I have to be very cautious of what I eat because I don't want to, make my health worse. I want it to be better. So I'm very particular about what I buy. Okay, take care, sweet thumb. You're heading the yard, but listening. Okay. Just be conscientious. Do not listen to the masses and be labeled a hoarder. Just get what you need. Best Buy, yeah. Just suggestions. Um it's good for probiotic. Struggle meals. What? Struggle meals build character. Struggle meals. And to be perfectly honest, a lot of us eat too much. I was watching this documentary and we can really survive on one meal a day. Like if you can discipline your body to kind of like if you think you're going to go through hard times and eat what you've been eating now in the quantities, I think you're sadly mistaken. You need to make things stretch. So you're going to have to learn to eat a lot less and be satisfied. And hunger is not going to kill you. It actually helps your body to eat up the bad cells in your body and clean itself up, that your actual body will function better. So fasting is a good thing. So sometimes you need to just do without and have just one meal a day. Let me see here. It's so stressful to shop for a household that requires nutritious groceries. We have to be very economic. I'm telling you. I was talking to my aunt and asking her about growing some food. She's not growing food. So we're trying to talk to her, and it's like a lot of things is your mindset. Your mindset will make or break you. Water, simplify your routines. It will make or break you. If you're not willing to go, outside the box, be a bit uncomfortable, I don't know what to tell you. I told her she needs to grow food. She's not eating enough living foods. So she's been here, and she was so weak and depleted. She's been here for Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days. And already she's feeling better. I juice, my sister juices. We make sure that our elders have green juice, watermelon juice, the ginger shots, and on and on and on. But a lot of the stuff that we're juicing, we've grown ourselves. I grow in pots. I grow on the veranda. I grow in the back. I even grew in my lawn last year. I had tomato plants along the side of the lawn. It got hectic during the pandemic. Grow your own food. I don't see why. Hey, girl on the box, you're in Jamaica and you're saying you can't grow food. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. You're in a tropical climate. All you have to do is drop the seed and let it grow. If you have bugs, you learn to deal with them. Just grow some food. You can't trust what you're getting. You can't put the responsibility on other entities. They're not going to take care of you. You have to take care of you. So Blue's saying that they grow as much as I'm telling you. I grow as much as I can. I spent a lot of time harvesting seeds this season. Harvesting seeds. Because as of next year, I'm gonna drop them off to the library. I'm waiting for a few to dry out, and I have to do all the rest of the hot peppers today. I have to put on 2 gloves. That's why I haven't done it yet. Double glove. Take out all the seeds from all these peppers. I'm going to share them with the library so that they can have, that spread throughout the community. And next year, any seeds savings for myself, and I'm just going to grow for abundance and can and preserve. That's the plan next year. Next year's not going to be about helping and sharing and whatever. Next year's about abundance and storing up food for a difficult time. That's what we got to do. It's, this was a season to help, not next year. Not next year. Jamaica is very expensive. Prices through the roof. And people have already had a hard time in Jamaica. You have to grow your own food. If you're going to survive in the Caribbean, you need to be growing something so that you have to buy less at the store. You have to grow something. And I'm told her to go find the Rastaman them. The Rastaman them know how to make vegetarian ital meals, how to grow. Like, connect with them people. Hey, GT. I'm ready, GT. I'm ready. So just, be encouraged, keep pushing, and keep prepping. Get what you need. I'm trying to think of what else you can get that you may need. I'm just trying to think, your bandages, your alcohol, tweezers come in handy. I've been getting a lot of splinters lately because I'm handling stuff. So tweezers to pull out splinters. Benadryl for sure. Polysporin. I have to make sure I always have polysporin because sometimes you get a nick or something and you need to just put polysporin on it. It comes in quite handy. Vaseline comes in quite handy. When things are cracked and splitting, you can put like a special oil on and then Vaseline on top to kind of seal it to keep it from splitting. What else? Water, lots of water. Even if you think you have enough water, keep getting some more water. I am going to be also keeping some water in those 5-gallon jugs that are empty now. I'm going to put the tap water in the jugs from the hose that has a filter and put them in the garage. And that is for my livestock, just in case, there's an issue. I'm going to keep a few in there. And also for myself, that can be used for, cooking. It could be used for hygiene, all kind of stuff. I'm going to keep some jugs of water in the garage. It's easier for me to do that because I have to turn the hose off probably by the end of October. So if I'm not bringing the chicken water into my house to add water, I'm going to take a bottle and up top it up outside. So if I have clean water there that's already filtered, that's better. I can melt snow and give to them for water as well. Also, you can do that. You put it in a bucket, let it melt in the garage. That's their water. You have to have these things laid out because they're depending on me. Let me just keep up with the chat. No, hunger doesn't harm your body. It's good for your body. So sometimes you need to start practicing fasting to build that discipline. Yeah, we drink. I don't buy juice anymore. I don't buy store-bought juice. Once in a while I may feel for like a mango pomegranate juice or something, but it's so infrequent that it's not even worth mentioning. My water, kefir grains. Yep. Probiotics. Let me just keep catching up. See if I missed anybody or missed any. Yep. Joe Bob's right. Americans have not experienced real hunger. It's even some Canadians. And a lot of people are I don't like that. I don't eat that. You're going to have to eat whatever you get because sometimes you're not going to get anything else. It's all about colors, fresh vegetables. I'm telling you. Antiseptic, yes. I know you mentioned yesterday, Jova, not to use peroxide on wounds. I learned that not too long ago because it's not actually good. So know how to have a first aid book. I have my first aid book from I think 20 years ago when I first took first aid, and it gives you some basic information, has color pictures about how to handle certain things. So keep the books on hand, canning books, medical books, herb books, natural healing remedy books. Erica mentioned that on Wednesday, but we didn't even get into the we didn't get into the book. But she mentioned the book and she put it in her description. Check out the books. They're not that expensive. They're on Amazon. She dropped the links. Get your books on hand and start to learn about these things now. Don't wait till you're scrambling around and you don't know how to do certain things. There's a lot of weeds that I found in the neighbor's garden this year because he didn't hardly mow his lawn this year and it's full of rodents, which is making my life miserable. But anyways, one of the weeds that I saw growing is actually goldenrod. That's a very powerful herb. When you let your garden, you should let your backyard be that wild, but when you just let things grow, you see that these are not really weeds. These are all herbs. And what can I use them for? So I didn't have time to really harvest it. It was just too much. But start to learn to identify different plants that can help you in case you cannot get your medication. Lashes is saying castor oil is very powerful. Castor oil sinks in very deep and can help. I even heard it helps with bone spurs when you use it long term. It's good for fibroids, definitely, as well as black seed oil. It's good for cysts, internal cysts, and boil, all kind of stuff. It's good for your skin. I just slather my face with castor oil at night and under my eyes, castor oil. It's good for eczema, for scarring, castor oil. Is excellent. Black seed oil. I've been taking that in the tablets and the liquid since the pandemic. So I think it works very well. Yes, use it. Oh, peroxide is not, you're not supposed to put peroxide on cuts because give me a second to find it because I know it's not good, but I can't remember why, unless somebody already typed it in the chat. Hold on. Should I put peroxide on wounds?
According to WebMD,
Okay, here it is.
using peroxide or rubbing alcohol to clean an injury can actually harm the tissue and delay healing. The best way to clean a minor wound is with cool running water and mild soap. Rinse the wound for at least 5 minutes to remove dirt, debris, and bacteria.
Okay, so what it says, I'll say it again, maybe you didn't catch it. It says peroxide and alcohol, but it's saying it can actually delay healing. Don't use peroxide on wounds. And when I look down, it said something else. Give me a second here. There's another reason, but it's not good. Alcohol, and again, I put Dettol on everything. I literally walk around smelling like Dettol half the time. I have Dettol in my car. I have everywhere in my purse. I have spray bottle. If you know, Dettol is everywhere. Yeah, it delays healing. It will kill it and kill the germs, but every time it won't close, or your wound won't close properly. So that's why it's good. I use peroxide, but you have to use it for the right things. Growing up the box, I have an oximeter. So do we, especially for oximeter and blood pressure. I have a blood pressure machine. I have one, and the parents' house has one. They have the oximeter. Somebody had loaned me theirs because they were going to loan it to my dad, but he already had one. So I probably will buy my own. And I think somebody mentioned, I can't remember who or where, which live I was on. That that thing that you breathe in. I forgot what it was called. Some nasal thing. I can't remember. It's help with breathing or something. I can't remember, but I'll mention it next week. I'll find it. Let me catch up with the chat. If all someone has is peroxide, it can be used. The reason why you don't use it during healing is because it strips away the tissue, causing it to take longer to heal. Exactly. Thank you. But that's exactly it. So I've used it in the past, but I don't keep using it. But if that's all you have, definitely use it. Just don't keep using it. Rural Jamaica does a lot of planting to keep the family nutritiously fed. 1 pound of yam in Kingston is $700. So $700 is about $7 a pound, because it's about 100 to 1 for my dollar. So $7 for a pound of yam, that's definitely not worth it. That's the same as us paying for imports over here. That don't make no sense. What's the replacement for hydrogen peroxide? Alcohol, soap and water, they said, and the schmoogle, Google schmoogle. And I use Dettol. I have a spray bottle in my purse, in my car, and I had another bottle. And what I use is this is what I use. Let me get it so you can see. So I buy the small bottles of peroxide so I can get the spray bottle, the brown one. And then I just pour the peroxide into another peroxide bottle. And then I put some water in here and a couple of drops of Dettol. And it has a cap. So this is what I use in my purse. And in my car, I have a bigger spray bottle. And if I have to sanitize, I spray my hands every time I leave my car and have to come back in my car. Anybody who's in my car has to spray their hands and wipe them off. I don't wait till I go home to I'm going to wash my hands when I go home, but I don't want to be in my car and then I rub my eye or something and then it's like whatever germs. So I spray my hands every time I get back in my car, and it's the same with everybody else. I can spray my steering wheel and wipe it down. I can spray the gear, change the gear part and the handle. Sometimes I'm at the red light and I'm just wiping stuff down to keep it clean. If I have to spray something that I have to touch, like the handle of the gas pump, you'll see me out there just spraying. But now that winter's coming, I'm gonna have a glove on anyways. But sometimes I spray my gloves with the Dettol so that it's like the glove is not germy. So I just spray everything. I'm literally the person that will walk around with a bottle of Lysol, aerosol, and just be spraying people, places, and things. Just spray everything. But that's what I do. And you don't need much. You can make the Dettol as strong as you want. It's up to you, but you can smell it. It smells like disinfectant, but that's what I use. I've been using it all my life. My parents use it. Most of the people in England who from Jamaica, they swear by Dettol. They swear by it, and it hasn't led me wrong yet. Unfortunately, a lot of kids have experienced hunger. Some of them only get a meal when they go to school, which is why the libraries and schools have to keep giving them meals in the summer. Yeah, we had a breakfast program at the school I worked at as well. It's a problem. Injury happens only when the injury happens. Yes. After that, don't use peroxide anymore. Um, Kills the health. Okay, good. Everybody knew. Okay, everybody got it before I found it. But there you go. Um, and for those of us who are doing hydroponics, a lot of us have peroxide. We use it for cleaning the units, cleaning the sponges, and all that kind of stuff. So this is something that we have regularly. If that's all you have, use it, but don't keep using it. And it's very affordable, peroxide. And somebody gave us a bottle of the hospital grade stuff. They have wipes that are hospital grade. So some of you have access to, it's like Lysol wipes, but it's hospital grade. I have a bag, like a big bag of them, and you put it in a tub. I only use them when I really need to because those are just like as needed. Other than that, I use the Clorox or the Lysol wipes and disinfect. I have all kind of sprays for disinfectant, like every brand and something. I have it here. I have to calm down, and I'm only going to be using particular brands. It's just too much too much stuff. Okay, all right. Everyone got the peroxide. That's good. Um, okay, so everyone's just answering that. Hey, David Corey. Um, Let me just scroll down. Alcohol dries the wound, which can cause it to heal and leave a crater. Sometimes, yeah. I just let it air out sometimes and just leave it, and the body will do what it needs to do. And I put not peroxide. I put polysporin. That's why I like polysporin, because they have ones that are antifungal, antimicrobial, and it has like a ingredient that helps with scarring so that you don't have all these scars. So that's why I'm a fan of polysporin. It really helps with a lot of different things. And also, I use it on my elders as well when they had bed sores. The hospital has a product that they use, but I don't know. I use polysporin and I haven't had a problem with it. Um, yes, thank you, Texas Lala nebulizer. That's exactly what I was trying to say. That's what it is, a nebulizer. Some people need a nebulizer, so don't wait till something happens. Have those things in stock and sent. I think, hold on, what's TLC saying? I don't know what that is. Or Renaissance. I don't know what that is, but I need to look that up then. Hold on, let me look it up now. But yeah, it's a nebulizer. Thank you. Some people, I think I'm gonna get one because I think my dad needs them, and even other elders. And what I noticed from the last 3 years is sometimes people don't have a good heart and they don't have a problem with letting your elders just fall off the wayside, if you get my drift. They don't give them the same quality of care as a younger person, so you need to make sure you're monitoring them yourself. Okay, I had one of these back in the day, when I had a surgery. They gave me one of those and I had to blow the balls up and get my strength up. They said you should be using that as well to strengthen your lungs. Yep. That is also a good thing. So you'd be surprised. Yes, the spirometer. I had one and I didn't keep it. Had I known what I know now, I would have kept it. So I regret that, but I'm going to buy one. And it's good for, yeah, for breathing. That there, yeah. See, you guys are all on point. You guys got it. Um, I'm going to get an oximeter. I have it on my list. I just haven't gotten it yet. Um, and it's good. It puts you at ease when you can monitor people yourself and check that they're getting oxygen. You can check their heart rate. It puts you at ease because the first thing you do is you panic. And because we had certain equipment, we could say, okay, no, you're fine. It made things a lot easier, because the first thing that I sometimes do is go right to the most extreme, and that just makes it more stressful. You don't want to get panicky and stressed out. You spent $5 for a pomelo. I spent I spent about $11, but I got a case of, what do you call them? What do them call again? Not those orange persimmons. Persimmons. Sorry, I'm just like persimmons. I bought a mangosteen and I actually liked it. That was about $3, $4. I wanted to just try it to see if I liked it. So that if I ever got, you know, to grow it, I would. It tastes really nice. I like mangosteen. I haven't tried rambutan. It's not cheap either. But some of these fruits are very good and very healing. I'm waiting for the persimmons to ripe. I think they can ripen off the tree. I'm not sure because some fruits don't ripen very well off the tree. Stop spraying that spray. Your mott says too. My mouth was open. That's too much. Okay, so there's the peroxide. That must be hospital grade because most peroxide is 3%. Oh, 3 or 4. I think you mean 3 or 4% before. Oh no, 34. Yeah, don't. That's too strong. That's too strong. And you could even use peroxide to gargle and to disinfect your gums and stuff, from what I understand. I've never done it, but in clove and other things, there's nothing worse than having toothache or tooth pain in regular life, never mind during a hard time. When you have, so make sure you have things to keep your gums and your gum health clean. I'm happy. Okay. Yeah, I spray everything. I'm telling you, I think I have a, hey, Tamara, I think I'm a germaphobe. I'm definitely a germaphobe. I don't like other people's germs. I don't want them breathing on me, touching on me. Yes, growing up the box, saline rinse. I have to use that because I'm always congested in my sinuses. That's my weak point in my immune system. I gotta watch the dust. I gotta watch particles. So that is definitely, if you need a saline wash, irrigation, neti pot, definitely get those things now and get the packs. You cannot use regular salt. You have to use a certain type of salt. So make sure you do your, hey, growing what I eat. Make sure you do your research, please, so you know what you need. I'm just scrolling down. I'm going to wrap it up soon. Give me a minute. I'm going to go get my supplies in order. You have to advocate for your elders. Those who know. These people are not very good at taking care of older people, and they're disposable. They don't say it, but the way that they treat. Oh, you're driving in Talks to Text. Did you think of the magazine? Like, what was the flavor like? Oh, the mangosteen. It was custardy. I don't know. I know we have a fruit in Jamaica called custy, and it's kind of like what's it called? Is it called custard in the rest of the world? Like a custard apple? I think it's kind of like a custard apple, but you go through the shell and it's all shell, and there's not much inside. It's only a small inner part that's custard appley, and it's all around a seed. So if you like, not soursop, but soursop's cousin, there's another thing, chamoyan or something. I think Juicing with Jay had it before on one of his taste testings. It has that kind of taste. It's not soursoppy sour. This is sweet and custardy, like a custard apple. It's creamy and it's like the texture of soursop. It tastes very nice. It's not worth the price because it's better if you go somewhere tropical and just eat your face full of fruit, but it tasted very nice. And it seems to be a fruit that it travels well. It didn't taste like some other fruits, like dragon fruit, that doesn't travel well. You have to pick it ripe. That tasted like it was how it was supposed to taste. It was very nice. It was very creamy. It wasn't too sweet, but it had a nice sweetish kind of vanilla kind of flavor, but it wasn't sweet like, oh my god, sugar. And it has a lot of health benefits from what I read. Don't ask me what those were. Oh, thank you. Growing up the box. Thank you for the super sticker. So rambutan or something. I'm gonna try that. I tried lychee, whatever you want to pronounce it as, and they have another one that's like we call it ginup. I don't mind that. And there's something else I want to try. Because I always watch you guys who are in the hotter climates, what you guys are eating, and then I try it. Give me a second here to keep up, and then I'm gonna start to wrap it up. Oh, you can tell I'm a germaphobe. I'm a germaphobe. Hey, tactical skillionaire. I think so. Someone say hi to you. Okay, I see you there. Um, Give me a second. No, he meant Mangosteen is talking to text, so it's typing whatever it wants to say. Hey, I'm just trying to scroll. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So get some stuff prepared, get some stuff in hand. You never know what you're gonna need. My family and I, we had a conversation a few weeks, I mean not a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks ago. There's a lot of turmoil in the world and a lot of stuff going on, as we all know and see. And there's some other stuff going on in other countries which has not even hit the media, talking about the Congo and Sudan. I think it's Sudan. This instability, um, supply chain and other things. We don't know. We just don't know. And we don't think that things are connected, but sometimes they are. So just stock up, have what you need. And we decided that, oh, you have to go back to the beginning, David Corey. I was called to battle, so I put on my war paint and I put on my camouflage shirt and my leopard print bonnet because so if you go back to the beginning, you'll get it. We left that over there. We're not going back over there no more. And we're gonna for when you watch the beginning, you'll and yes, good. Um Try yarrow root for mouth cuts and toothaches. I never really hear people talk about it, and it's a beautiful perennial flower. I've never grown it, so I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm trying to grow a few more things that can handle my climate, so I will look into that. I know. Oh, you grow yarrow, David? I don't think I've known it. I've heard of it, but I didn't know it did with mouth sores. I didn't know that. Um. Okay. I'm just. You'll see. You'll see, David. You'll see. You probably missed. Maybe you missed. Yeah, you probably weren't in any of those places. You missed the mess, so you'll get it. So, my family and I were talking, and we decided because we're like, okay, I think it's best to work in a group. If you live with a family, then you work together. We don't live together, but we're near enough by. We're always in each other's life. Don't worry, don't worry about it. If I have, they get. If they have, I get. We work together, and that's the way you have to do it. You can't just be on your own because you don't know. So I said, let's not work together in terms of I buy all the rice and then you buy all of this and you buy all of that. Let's each have enough in our own home to sustain ourselves and extra people so that if I have to go to their house, they have enough for me to be there as well. If they come over here, there's enough for them to have stuff here because I don't want to be in a position where I have to go over there and get stuff and I can't get over there or vice versa. We need to have enough of everything that we need in each of our locations and we just get in our car and we go over to where we need to go to. I don't want people seeing me carrying and packing stuff and seeing me walking around with bags of rice. And I don't want people to see what I'm doing. Once I sneak something into my house, it just stays in there. Take care, Charles. Yeah, I'll see you Monday. I don't want to do that. And I don't want them doing that. I want them to sneak stuff, where we're going to put them. We talked about our hiding spots and where we're going to put certain things and any extra. And that's how we're going to move. So I don't know how you all are moving, but we're all going to just stock up. We're going to buy stuff on sale. We're going to buy it in bulk. We're going to get the buckets and the bay leaf and the oxygen absorbers. They have on sale a vacuum sealer. I might buy it now, or I might just wait because I have no freezer. I need a new deep freezer and just get that stuff. Um, yes, I don't have clothes at their house anymore. They kicked all my stuff out, so I'm gonna have to put some clothes there, pajamas and just hygiene and stuff like that. So that's how we're gonna do it. We're not gonna be we're sharing, but we're not gonna be like, okay, you buy all the rice and then I keep no. Everybody has what they need at their house, not just a few. Yeah, and then that I think is better. And I know that their garden is fertile. I know what they can grow over there. I know how to grow over here. The only thing is the chickens, and they can stay here as long as we, go back and forth and make sure they have what they need. And if worse comes to worse, they can be relocated. Not a problem. That's the plan right now. Until we get to a place where we get, a piece of land or something else where we can all have a home, quote unquote, home base. Once we get a home base, that's where the greenhouse is going to be, whether it's heated or in kind of in the ground to get that thermal heat from the ground, water source, aquaponic, all the list is going on. Having rain catchment, fireplace for sure, or a wood stove, all of that stuff where it's all in one place, not 50 million places. Food storage, pantry, a cold cellar, and the list goes on. That's all going to be in one space. We're each collecting seeds, we're each doing our thing, building up our skills. All we got to do is find out a central location. So I'm going to be packing up what I can pack up here. The only thing we got to work on is security. I'm working on that. As you know, I got getting my gun license. I got the license, got to get it, approved by the government to license me. My sister probably will learn, but for sure we can do the crossbow and practice doing crossbow because she did art. She was good at archery, so that's not a problem. So just get her doing the crossbow thing and start to learn that kind of stuff. Yarrow seeds need to be, hold on, let me see what you're saying. Needs to be stratification to plant them in the winter or place in the fridge for at least 2 months. Lot of mercy. I've never done anything like that. That's those things kind of like woofs. This year I got on top of collecting seeds. When that was done, I felt, yep. This year it was not about preserving. It was about growing different varieties and collecting seeds. We collected a lot of flower seeds from my flowers. I found some more nasturtium seeds in the pot that look like chickpeas. Those are the seeds, so I picked them out. I didn't get a lot of seeds from the, whatchamacallit, calendula. I didn't get a lot of seeds. I got some, but not a lot. So I'm probably gonna have to find some seeds for some more calendula because that's a very good herb for healing as well. So that's what we're doing over here. If you're not growing any food, start to learn to grow some food, irregardless of sheltering in place. You really can't trust what you're getting in the store. The seeds are GMO for the most part. They are putting a lot of bioengineered food in everything. They think we're stupid enough that we don't know how to read and determine that it's the same crap, just putting a new label on it. They're feeding the animals crap. I have people fighting me at church for my eggs. But what people don't seem to realize is, yeah, I'm selling eggs. It's not expensive. My friend told me, she goes, "You're selling them for too cheap. Those cost like double the price." But it's not my intent to make money. It's just to cover the feed costs and to give people access and exposure to get them, curious and starting to take their food into their own hands. But I'm doing it for me. So if it ever comes to a point where I have to cut you off, you're going to get cut off because I got to make sure that my people got food and got eggs and that, I'm benefiting me. So what I've learned is that more people need to have something that they're doing to add to the community that you're a part of, to use for bartering and to supply a need in the community. I can do eggs. Maybe someone else can do quail. Maybe someone else can do something else. It can't just be one person and then everyone's like, harassing me to with the eggs. And even though some people are getting the farm fresh eggs, sorry, I'm hearing something that sounds like a goose. Okay, it's geese. I hope it's not the chickens. I'm like, that's kind of loud. They're going south. They're going to you guys. They're going to Florida, guys. They're leaving. So um you have to be providing something. You have to be adding value. What we talk about a lot about, are you an asset or liability? You need to start focusing on what is your asset and start expanding it. You can't keep taking from other people and other places. Like, what are you bringing to the community? What are you bringing to the table? Some people can do canning, some people can do, I don't know, whatever, but you need to be adding something. The guy at church who always, he used to give away callaloo. I'm talking his callaloo grows so lush and huge. I think he's selling it now. It's not no longer giving it away, because if you go to the store and buy callaloo, it costs something, and he's putting in the work. So he's charging for that. But if there's no money to be charged, I can swap eggs for callaloo. Somebody can swap meat for what, like, you can swap stuff. What are you doing to have something that's of value that you can swap and barter with? That's what you need to start working on. Because if you have nothing, and you can't rely on what you have prepped, because it's going to run out eventually. You start thinking about what I can provide that is not going to run dry. Crops are not going to run dry. You can harvest a season, you can keep planting and come again. You can trade seeds. There's all kind of stuff. It can't just be, I have a bottle of this over here and I can give you 4 ounce, 2 ounces, 3 drops. And before you know it, you have nothing left. What you're bartering with has to be something that can be replenished. We need to start to think along those lines. So I'm watching people and it's like, I'm going to have to talk to them and say, like, one lady's going to get her own chickens. Thank God. She needs to support her family, because her family she's a grandmother now, but I think she has five or six children. I can't remember. I know she lost a child who's my age. She medical error happened, and she has grandchildren. So there's a whole network right there of people that are relying on her. She can't be relying on me for eggs because I don't have enough birds to supply my own family and her family. So she's going to get her own. She needs to get help to pay for the coop. Her other daughter, two of them might come to church. One of them came to visit on Sunday, and she brought her boyfriend. And she's like, we haven't gotten eggs in 2 weeks from you. I said, there's not enough eggs to go around. I got to rotate and give people, like, you get this week and you get next week, and rotate it around. And her boyfriend was like, she said he doesn't eat any eggs anymore. He only wants these eggs because he can taste the difference. So now you've gotten a taste and now you're hooked, but you're not helping your mom buy the coop. So I said to her, you all need to put together, you're grown and you have a little money. You all need to put together and help her get the coop, because she can get chickens no problem. The farmer that we know can give her hens, but he didn't give it to her because she doesn't have anywhere to put them. So now she's going to work with her siblings, buy her the coop. You guys can get 3 chickens right now, and then you don't have to worry about me. You can do what you're doing over there on your thing. That is what I'm trying to inspire people to do. Become self-sufficient and remove the grocery stores from your supply chain. Work with each other and provide it for yourself. So that's food for thought for everybody. Oh, for sure. Skills and assets, you guys in the chat have been talking about that for months and years. People like me are listening and applying it in my own way. I'm telling you, I feel like a drug dealer, Jova. People are like, where's the eggs? You got eggs? You got eggs? Any eggs? Like, literally. It's coming like, every day I'm hustling. But they taste the difference, because even the farm ones that they got don't taste as good as mine. I give my girls herbs. I give my girls the natural greens. That's why my girls' eggs taste better. I'm in control of what they eat. And because that's important to me, they can taste the quality. They're having hemp seeds now to get the omega up there. They're getting watermelon like every other day. I give them the empty shell when I juice. They're getting all of that. They're getting the pulp. They're getting nutrients, and that's reflected in the nutrients density of the eggs. You can't, but note to self, guys, before I forget, I saw on the gram, companies have gotten smart to the eggs being extra orange and looking a certain way when they're of a higher quality, and they're injecting the eggs with a coloring, and that coloring is very toxic to your body. So just because something looks like a grass pasture raised, whatever chicken. It may not be. So that's why everything, every food item is being corrupted. You have to know from the source yourself and get a direct source with the grower. Forget the store, get a direct store. Oh, you have calendula? Okay, no problem. But well, it depends. I don't want to burden anybody, so I don't want you to. But if you don't mind, that would be great. So the D Macro said, develop a skill or asset that you can barter with. Never a bad idea to. And of course, if you know a trade, you're going to be essential. That's for sure. But it's nice to swap actual, food's going to be a big deal. Big deal. If you have heard of, whoops, sometimes this mouse doesn't work on the laptop. If you have heard of knit bone, it's yarrow. Add it to your bug out bag for healing wounds and broken bones. It also stops bleeding when applied directly. Okay, that's an excellent prep for your bug out bag, and even for your home. Bug in case somebody has an injury. And I think they said that comfrey does the same thing. It's good for healing bones and stuff. I do have comfrey, but I will take everything that I can get. Um, Cooler months are what cause the darkening of yolks when food remains the same. Cooler months? Okay, this is my first year with chickens. I had them since April, so this is my first winter with them. Um, so I'm not sure, but I know I am getting less eggs occasionally. I'm getting 5. I have 6 girls. I'm getting 5. Yesterday I got 4. I'm like, where's the rest? And they're looking at me like, what? So today I've had 3. So hopefully I don't even know. I'm only like counting because I'm like, listen, I need to get 3 dozen and I need to, sell the eggs. But as of this week, I'm going to be like, you know what? I don't have enough. I have to make sure I have enough for myself and the rest I'll sell. But you're going to have to get self-sufficient. I can't be your supply chain. Yeah, they don't have time to be broody over here. They don't got time. They got to keep it moving. But I'll keep an eye on for broodiness because this is my first winter with them, so they haven't, gone through that as yet. They're molting. Biscuit is looking quite disheveled still. I've increased their food to the higher protein starter mix. They have all the eggshells, oyster shells that they need, so that's okay. And I put electrolytes in their water occasionally, and I did it the other day, and the stupid bucket, the cup was leaking, and it just leaked pretty much out all day and all night, dripping slowly, and half of the jug was gone. So I fed them rainwater in that bucket now, and I put some apple cider vinegar. That they seem to be fine. I don't see any issues. I put a new dust bath and I filled it back up with DE and sand and whatever, so that's okay. They're not. They seem to be okay. They seem to be okay. So I'm just gonna keep my eye on them and see how it goes. They will fight you if they're intent on brooding. Yeah, I have some work gloves. I got some leather work gloves so that if they peck me. Funny enough, they're becoming a bit more docile, except for one. Cookie gives me an eye, and if I put my hand in there, God help me if I get my hand back out. She will peel off your skin. The other ones are allowing me to put my hand under them again and pull an egg out, and they're not getting so aggressive. But if they go there with me, they know what happens. I have a little shovel that I kind of, allegedly push them over to the side. They'll be okay. And I have those big work gloves, so I'll use that to put on. I don't have time for broodiness. There's no rooster, so there's nothing's gonna happen. So we don't got time for that. But thank you for popping in. It's been longer than I thought. If you missed the beginning, go back and watch it. You can see why I'm wearing my war paint and football. And we did we have to do, and we move on from there. Have a great day. Have a great Saturday. Go shopping today and get your stuff. Oh, I have to fix for her. I will send her it an IG message later. Okay. Okay, no problem. Yeah, you got me on. I'm on IG, same name, Urban Gardening Chronicles. So you'll see me on there. My picture's the same. The cabbage, the moniker is the same. The whatever picture. You want more production? Just needs to provide better. KFC. Well, I threatened them with a Dutch pot, so that helped for a bit. But yeah, And I don't want to pressure them to lay eggs. I do want to give them a rest, but I do put on a light, not to increase production. If at 7 o'clock I go out there and there's no light, that's I put on a light in the coop for them so that they have that light. It's not nice to be okay, no problem, Mrs. Erica. Hopefully you saw the beginning. So I do put some light on, but I turn it off at a certain time so that they can get that natural rhythm back for the day. Um, but yeah, you have the power. You have more power than you think and you realize. Take back your power when it comes to food. Take back your peace. Take back your joy. Don't let people come in here and just treat you any kind of way willy nilly. If you missed the beginning, you'll go back and watch it. We ain't here for that. So if you don't start none, there won't be none. Have a blessed day. I will see you in these streets. You all know where I usually am. I think Broke is live tomorrow. If you're not, but you might see me in there. I was in the bushes last time. I think I didn't say anything, but I was there. Mondays, My Fly Family. Wednesdays, Erica, My Fly Family. Hopefully this week we can try to stay on topic, but we have a hard time. But it's good because we laugh. So if you need a good laugh, watch last week's live. And Thursday is Miss Shirley OG, Planter Garden. Tuesday and Friday, Trill Tuesday, and Fridays, Friday Faves, African Dreaming. But he might go live at different times. You have to just check it out. Big Roosters on Friday nights, karaoke night. I haven't seen Tori's Brain. I know he's off for a bit, but keep your eyes peeled for when Tori's Brain comes back. Support his shorts. He has little shorts with little games. Support. I haven't seen David Corey go live in a minute, so I'm not sure. He said every other Tuesday, but I haven't seen him in a while. I think he's getting his gardening and stuff, fall stuff together. So we're waiting to hear when he's going to go live again. Lashes is live all the time, so you can just catch her anytime, usually in the mornings. So in the mornings, doing her fitness and stuff. So check her out. GT was supposed to go live, I think, every other Monday as well, but I know people are busy, so just keep an eye out to see, when they're going to go live. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.